It's a reunion at Jets, OTAs, and mandatory minicamp. Mike Westhoff is back, and next week, Rex Ryan returns. We'll talk about all of it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
Oh my gosh, it's Morphin time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green for the daily, for the daily, for the daily.
You're talking just football, man.
Boy Green for the daily, for the daily, for the daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, just football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, let's go!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show also available wherever you get your podcast. It's great to have you guys here this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, come on in and like the video and hit subscribe. We'd appreciate that out there in the audience. So please show your love from that perspective. That'd be much appreciated. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We're also available in the YouTube world as a replay show on demand if you sleep in or you're not able to catch the show for whatever reason when it goes live. That's always possible. But the audio-only version is there. Believe Network, B-L-E-A-V, Believe. Like I believe in the Jets, I believe. Do you believe? We all believe. Believe, 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 believe.
But I choose to believe that it is. I believe. I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
As do I, random kids from Stranger Things, I believe as well. So let's go. So Believe Network, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast, make sure you guys check it out there. I appreciate you. We do have all kinds of nostalgia happening. We'll get all into that just here in a moment. But first, our number one Austrian Jets fan decided right off the top of the show to gift a Boy Green Coffee Club membership here on YouTube. Appreciate you, Austrian. Thank you very much. That's a raffle ticket to our contest, which we will talk about in more detail a little bit later in the program. But thank you, Austrian. Appreciate that. Is 22 raffle tickets. 22. A good old lucky number is 22. I love that. My father loves 22. That's actually his number. That's his birthday. It's the 22nd of May. He's a big Cowboys fan, so Emmitt Smith, obviously. There you go. That's 22 is an important number to my old man. That it is. So salute to Hop on Pop and the number 22. And, of course, obviously, salute to number one Austrian Jets fan who just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership, getting himself a raffle ticket. By the way, let's see. This membership went to Rep NY1. Rep NY1. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club, my brother from another mother. All right, before we get into the topic at hand here, let's first introduce this man who is one of my good friends in this industry. And he is the author of this book up here on the screen, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football. And he's changed this Boy Green Daily offseason with some spectacular guests and more guests to come. Let's bring him in. It is the one and only Bob Lederer. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Boy Green. Good morning, Boy Green fandom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How's about you?
Yes, I'm doing swell, and I will say that we continue to receive compliments on the Mark Smolinski interview. I'm not sure if you peruse your Twitter often, but the one and only Connie Carberg, the first female scout in NFL history, and of course, she did that scouting with the New York Jets. She watched the interview and was absolutely over the moon about it. She said it publicly. She told me privately, and she's looking forward to potentially any other interviews that may be coming our way this offseason. So we got a raving review from Connie, and that's the ultimate praise.
I agree with you. That means a lot because Connie is about as inside a person from not exactly that time period, but right after it as anybody. And she knows what that team was all about because there were so many members of the team on the Jets when Connie entered the organization. So,
Mhm.
yes, I did see that, and it did catch my attention, and I felt, really good about that because she's somebody that matters as far as criticism.
100%. So she's one of the best in the business. So I appreciate Connie and her words on that. And again, we'll have more on that perhaps in a little bit to share. So Connie, stay tuned, my friend. Stay tuned, Connie. I've met Connie in person. She's as wonderful in person as she is over Twitter or however you guys know her on podcast. Shout out to Nick Shine, by the way. He just had her on last night for an interview, and I could listen to Connie talk all day long. Well, something that I'm sure makes Jet fans feel good is when we reminisce, because the last 15 years have been crap. So when we can think about better times, that normally puts us in a better place, which takes us to today's topic of choice, nostalgia overflow. I'm about to play a clip from the Jets Collective podcast where Rich Cimini talked about Mike Westhoff being at practice this week, the longtime special teams coordinator. I have his book back here, Figure It Out. And also Rex Ryan coming back next week. EZ is beside himself. Let's go to the footage.
Rich, so Mike Westhoff was there, right?
Yeah.
So one of the all-time great special teams coaches, as we all know, when somebody like that shows up, and we've seen this, whether it's a Lawrence Taylor or the Giants, even though Lawrence is not a coach, but when a former, like a legacy all-time coach shows up, is he watching? Is he conferring? Like, how does that actually work in real time on the field?
Yeah, I had talked to Mike on Tuesday night, and he said he was thinking he might actually be out there today as well. He was thinking of going Wednesday and Thursday. He wasn't sure. I know he's in the city. He was a little concerned about getting back to the city with all the Knicks traffic and everything like that. But so he was out there. He was on the field. Like Mike Westhoff was on the field, walking around as if he were coaching. Nice. So obviously he's got carte blanche. He gave Chris Banjo's his guy, the special teams coordinator. He recommended him highly to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn knew Banjo. Glenn knew Westhoff. Like a little reunion. And I was talking to Rex Ryan yesterday, and Rex told me he's trying to go on Tuesday. So we're going to have another former Jet coach. It'll be weird. Now, I've seen Westhoff at a lot of practices over the years, but seeing Rex Ryan at minicamp on Tuesday will be a little bit weird.
I asked you, Rich, when I saw you at that event we did covering Harrison Phillips getting that award for his charitable work. I'm like, has Rex been around at all since the Jets let him go? And you said I couldn't remember a time, and here we are. It's going to be that first time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he did, and I just don't know about it. But he told me he's hoping to get there on Tuesday. Obviously, strong ties with the talked to him yesterday about his son, Seth, being the passing game coordinator. They made Seth available to the media yesterday, so it was fun meeting him. The last time I saw Seth, he was like a 16-year-old ball boy, running around, being the gopher, for Rex and the players and so forth. So, yeah, that was a trip seeing Seth. And so, yeah, Rex said he's going to make it out there next week.
Yeah, so the only context to add, and then Bob, let's get into it, is Tuesday would be the first of the 3-day mandatory minicamp for the New York Jets when Rex Ryan is hoping to attend. Mike Westhoff was there for some of the OTA practices this week, including the exclusive special teams day, which makes sense for a special teams legend like Mike Westhoff to be at. So, man, a lot to unpack there. I'll start off with Westy. Mike Westhoff. Have you ever interacted with Mike Westhoff before, Bob Lederer?
No, I've never met the guy, but obviously now he's a Hall of Fame, not direct inductee, but he is being enshrined for his skill sets and for his achievements in that very, very
yes, I believe
important area of special teams. Yeah.
In less than 2 weeks, as a matter of fact, he will be in Canton, Ohio. I believe I wrote it in my piece. The blurb the Hall of Fame gave on this. Let me see if I have this in here. Let's see. The blurb, yes. The Pro Football Hall of Fame has announced that Westhoff is one of 3 coaches who received the Award of Excellence from the Hall of Fame for a job well done in the assistant coach category. Mike and his fellow honored contributors in the 5 categories will be at a cocktail dinner and award luncheon to celebrate their careers coming up on June 24th, and June 25th in Canton, Ohio. So beautiful. Yes. Well-deserved. Right. It is Hall of Fame adjacent. I don't know if a bust is there, but it's some wing in the Hall of Fame, but nonetheless, I love that he's getting some love, because as Mike Westhoff pointed out in his book and in person about his book is that Roger Goodell talked about how Mike Westhoff changed the game, and that's a direct quote in the book. So salute to Mike Westhoff. That's really cool. And hell, anytime he wants to come around here, that's good for business. And obviously, for people who don't know, he has a direct connection to Chris Banjo, our special teams coordinator, which was a recommendation to Sean Payton of how he got a job in the first place. He was in the league for about a decade. After his career ended, Mike Westhoff recommended Banjo to Sean Payton. He ends up with Sean Payton. He's an assistant for 2 years. Then he becomes a Jet special teams coordinator. We're all throwing rose petals at him for last year. So there's a lot of connective tissue. And obviously, Aaron Glenn has connections to both Sean Payton and to Mike Westhoff. So it all is full circle. So to me, that's all good for business. I love Mike Westhoff there.
Yeah, Mike Westhoff is elevated in Jets history. There never has been a special teams guy that for terms of longevity and such and excellence, could touch him. And he didn't even just touch just our organization, but I guess he was with the Dolphins just before he was with us and had the same kind of excellence there.
Yeah, I've got Westhoff came out with his book a couple years ago, and I received a book, and then we're set to have Mike Westhoff on the show, but there was some complication with the scheduling, nothing crazy, but some complication, and then it got buried. Then I had the Jet season, so it got lost to the sauce. So I hope I eventually get this interview because back here, I think I still have it. Let me see here. Let me see. Yes. So look at this. You see all these yellow notes? These are all questions. There's about, I don't know if you can even tell how many there are. There you go. That's a good look at it. There's and you can hear it too. That's a nice little sound. There's 100 questions I wrote as I went through the entire book, went up this, up this, up this, up this. So it is still this way. So it is ready when Mike is ready to catch up on that interview. There you go. Figure it out behind me of all the notes.
And when the commissioner says that Westhoff's excellence changed the games of special teams, most of us on the outside, who are not privy to the little things that he did and the big things that he did, really don't quite understand. That's me. Exactly how he did change special teams excellence and such, but I'll accept it, on face value if the commissioner says it.
Yeah, and I will tell you that one of my questions that's written in those 100 questions that are in the book, and it just sort of hit me. Mike Westhoff was with the Miami Dolphins, I believe, from 1984 through 2000. I'm going to double check that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a long time. I know that's definitely when he started in 84. I just want to double check when he finished. 86. So 86 to 2000 is what old Mike Westhoff was there for the Miami Dolphins. And my question, and obviously if anyone could do math, 86 to 2000 is longer than 2001 to 2012, which is what he spent with the Jets. But he is synonymous with the Jets. On the cover is Figure It Out Jets. That is his prime thing, but he spent more time in Miami. So the question I did want to ask Mike, and I will ask him one day when I get him on the show, hopefully we could get him on soon. I'll reach out to his people, especially coming off of his visit to OTAs. Why is he? I'm happy that he wants to be a Jet and is, but why wouldn't he be? He was with the Dolphins longer. Not that years, I guess.
Yeah, but maybe he wasn't the coordinator of special teams with Miami all that time.
He was not. He was. He was the tight ends coach and special teams coach for that entire time. It looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And man, to pull double duty, special teams coach is an entire coordinator role. To also hold a full positional role for 15 years, my God, I don't know how you possibly split the time to be able to do both of those jobs. But that's yeah. Unless there's a Brian Duker situation where he has someone sort of sitting in on tight ends when he's doing special teams work. I don't even know how that's possible. So that's another question I'll have to add to that long list of questions there. But that is interesting to me that he represents with Jets instead of Dolphins, which again, I'm very happy. So great. Taylor Sterling has a reason why he believes that Mike Westhoff is picking the Jets over the Dolphins. It's because, quote, Miami sucks. Thank you, Taylor, for that beautiful comment. Maybe that's it. So, again, hopefully we'll have Mike Westhoff on soon. And then the other guy, Rex Ryan. Now, he's not just coming back for a nostalgic trip down memory lane of his great times there. I also have his book by me. I've got a lot of these Jets books. Everyone wants to write a book, Bob. Everyone's trying to copy Bob Lederer. That's what's happening here. Yep.
Well, he's obviously he's a member of the media. Bless you. And
Thank
he's
you.
on, I guess, every day talking about pro football,
Sure.
and he obviously also focuses a lot of attention on the Jets, good, bad, or well, mostly bad so far.
That's true. That is
So I
true.
mean, he's probably attending as a member of the media, and he'll pick up a lot of things that he sees there that that he'll probably use along the way. I doubt they're going to divulge very much to him because he is a member of the media. But
That's a good point.
He'll catch a lot of stuff because of his background, and what the heck is his son works
Seth
there,
Ryan.
and
Yeah.
I doubt Seth is going to share real secrets with him, but Seth might give him some ideas about atmosphere and environment, and that might come into play, if Aaron doesn't make it, past this season. Seth might be a terrific mouthpiece to help him understand what happened.
Yeah, I imagine he would. Well, that's a fascinating thought. I didn't have that on my bingo card, but let's talk about that for a second. For those who don't know, because I only know this because the Jets shared photos of Mike Westhoff being at practice, on his badge that everyone has around their neck, it said guest of the coach. And depending if anyone's ever worked in media before and has had credentials, depending on what your credential is, it has different levels of access. Here's a much lower scale. It's on an NFL team. I'm credentialed for the Syracuse Mets. So if any time I wanted to go to a game, I could. Now, I work every game, so unfortunately I can't.
Yeah, how'd we do last night? I haven't
Lost, unfortunately. Yeah.
Who started for us last night? Anybody?
I don't think it was Jonah Tong. I can't remember off the top of my head.
If it wasn't Jonah Tong, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So I will be going to a game. What is it, next week? A week from today, the 19th. So I'll be going to my first Syracuse Mets game and bringing the family out. That'll be very nice.
Good for you.
So I have a credential pass, but it tells me the level of access. Like I can't go on the field and go run around, but I'm allowed with any media access behind the scenes, going to any broadcast booth or anything I want to do, and go to any seat, any section outside of on the field. So it's restricted. But a friend of coach or whatever I just said, I'll have to go read the pass again. A guest of coach. You have full access to anywhere. Now, it makes sense for Mike. Mike Westhoff is retired. And I thought in my head at first when I saw Rex Ryan was coming to the first day of the mandatory minicamp, I'm like, oh, he's going to get the coach pass, so he'll go anywhere. But you're right. He's a media guy. Are they going to give him the same full level of access that they gave Mike Westhoff? I had not thought about that, Bob. Wow.
Yeah.
Probably not.
And he probably is technically a guest,
right?
But he's also a member of the media.
So,
maybe he's got to sign some sort of a confidentiality agreement.
Maybe.
I don't know, those sort of things. Probably the guests all have to do something like that anyway. I would think. I mean, if I was running the organization, I would to make sure that what goes on here stays there. But who knows? But he is a member of the media. He's there every morning. He's competing with you for eyeballs.
That he is
every day. So, who's to say? And I doubt at this point that Rex is going to have too many tips for them. Although, the defensive line coach was the defensive line coach, wasn't he, when Rex was there?
Yes, he was for 3 seasons. Yes.
Yeah. So we might just spend this time talking with him and chatting him up and seeing what's going on. And Rex in his heyday was a defensive specialist and guru. But I don't say this to be derogatory, but, time passed him by because there's nobody. I recall Buddy Ryan was, oh my God, he was the genius of geniuses on defense in 1985. But by 1986, the rest of the league had figured out a lot of what he was doing and had answers for it. So, there's nobody out there who is a complete genius every day of the year that can outwit everybody all the time. But Rex obviously made his imprint on the Jets as a figure, as a character, as a coach, as a motivator, and he's somebody that we all hold in very high regard, despite the last 3 seasons of his tenure.
Which, let me ask you about that. So, Bob, have you ever been fired from a job before?
Ooh, Yeah, we don't want to talk how many times that was.
Okay, we'll leave that.
I'm a bad employee.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll unpack that when we get to the pearly gates. But
Yeah.
Rex got fired from the Jets in 2014. He then immediately goes to the Bills, and unfortunately,
And he got fired there too.
He did get fired there too. Robert Saleh had a quote once that, as a coach, you're either hired or you're fired. Like inevitably, you're always going to go.
Somebody else once said, "You get hired to get fired."
There you go. That's another good line, which is true. There's a very small percentage that decide, I'm going to walk away now with my own will.
If you own the team like Hallis or Connie Mack, then you don't have to worry about that. But
That's
otherwise,
true.
You're there. You're there, as they used to say about the president. You're there at the request of the president, and he can take that request away anytime he wants.
Which he can. And it's interesting on that clip that you may have just heard on the Jets Collective podcast we just played, is that Rich Cimini believes that Rex Ryan has not been back to the Jets facility since he was fired. Now, he did interview for the job, but that was down in Florida at Woody Johnson's, one of his many homes, I'm sure, is where he spoke. So he hasn't been to the facility since getting fired. Is so much time passed, it doesn't matter anymore? It was 12 years ago. Is that a weird thing that's going to be sort of kind of floating there?
I've interacted with people who had given me the axe.
Have you gone back to the same place?
Gone to? No. I would run into them. They had moved on to other pastures as well, and I would run into them. And frankly, I would come home. My wife said, "So how was your meeting?" And I would say, "The conference was good. Oh, by the way, I met blank." And how'd that go? And I just said, I looked at him and he asked me how I was doing. And I asked him how I was doing. And I wanted to punch him in the mouth, but I kept walking.
See, that's true sign of maturity, Bob, is that,
also because he was way bigger than me. So, if I tried to punch him out, I would have landed somewhere and below the solar plexus. So anyway.
Well, hey, swing
hard,
I'm not
that
swing
kind of
fast.
guy. I'm not that.
You're pacifist, right? Of course.
Yes,
I would never expect anything else.
Well,
I do want to get back
for good reasons, as we were. It would be like, I know I'm taller than you, but that's
are
probably
you?
That's
How tall are you,
about
Bob?
it within the Boy Green universe.
How tall are you, Bob?
I'm I used to be 5'7". My wife used to make fun of me. I said I was 5'6" 3/4. Now I'm a solid 5'6".
Okay, yeah, that's solidly taller than me. Can confirm, according to my driver's license.
How tall is your dad?
5'8".
Oh, really? I would have thought he was much taller. Okay.
No, he's like 5'8". My mother's like 5'4", maybe. She's super small. And then there's me, who's, again, depending on what slanted hill I happen to be standing on, my height is slightly adjusted.
So is your youngest sibling taller than the rest of you?
No, my youngest sibling, she's like 13, so she is not.
Okay, well, I was someone who's because you have two brothers who are.
I do, and I've got a sister who's 2 years younger. No, I don't believe she's taller, although she may have.
In my family and in my grandkids, the youngest is the tallest. And
she's definitely not.
Yeah.
Brody he's like 6'3". So my oldest is the tallest, or my oldest brother is the tallest. My brother Nick is short. He's like 5'6" or something. So he's shorter. There's me. I don't know what my sister's height is, but she's shorter. She's definitely not tall.
Yeah, but
so
6'3" is.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When he came to visit in South Carolina for the first time, like, because, it's a long story short, but we have the same father, but different mothers with my brother Brody. And when he came to visit one summer, he was, of course, wearing his shoes, and he dropped them off at the door. And I saw a shoe and what in the world as a kid? And I pick it up. It's size 15. And I just see this thing, and I put it next to like my head and body, and it was taking up like a chunk like this. And I'm like, geez, hello, man. And that was pretty nuts.
So you don't need to meet Shaq O'Neal to recognize big feet.
Definitely not at all. I do want to get this because I love this story. Thank you, NC Green, for sending in this $5 super chat. I have 21 raffle tickets so far this month. Every time I get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Soraya Luna.
Wow.
This is one of my favorite moments I watched live as a Jets fan, and one of the coolest things ever. So NC Green sends in this $5 super chat. Mike Westhoff taught Leon Washington to grab a kickoff that was in play while standing out of bounds, so it would be spotted at 40. Never saw that before. It was a Jets-Bills game, and Bills kick off the ball, and the ball is squirting near the sideline, but it's not going to the sideline. And Leon Washington was the kick returner. And instead of going up to just pick up the ball and run with it, all of a sudden, he steps out of bounds with both feet. And then I'm like, what is he doing? That's a live ball. The Bills are going to get this thing. And he touches the ball from out of bounds and touches the ball that's still in the field of play. And at first, the refs are confused because they're like, what the? And then Leon is apparently he wasn't mic'd up, but he's apparently explaining his case. And there is a hidden rule in the playbook, which again, you said, what's sort of the Mike Westhoff greatness, and it's also written in his book, Figure It Out, the knowledge of the game and being able to maximize the small things, maximize the margins. And like, here's the things that no one else knows, but I know. And yes, technically, if you kick a ball just straight up out of bounds, it's out of bounds. You get it at the 40-yard line.
Right.
If a player is out of bounds, they represent out of bounds. So touching the ball extends ball out of bounds. You automatically get it at the 40. And I remember watching it going, oh my God, what a genius. I've never seen it before.
Be spotted at the 6-yard line. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Instead, right. Which it would have been, right? The ball gets squirted. It's like at the 3, and you think, what a great kick by the kicker. This sucks for the team. Leon went out of bounds and boop, touched the ball. And I was just like, what a absolute genius that Leon knew this, that Mike Westhoff knew this, that you would have taught it and then in the moment remembered live, because it's hard. Like, people learn stuff all the time. Like, I want to be on the show Survivor and I want to cram a lot of knowledge. I'm sure it's going to go out the window once I'm live in the moment. But for Leon to know what the rule was and to do it. So huge shout out to Mike Westhoff. That is in my 1,000 notes for Mike Westhoff to talk about. And also, Leon Washington followed me on Twitter for a while, so I was going to set up that interview too, because I love Leon Washington. But yes, that's a great example, NC Green, a great example of the genius of one Mike Westhoff and sharing that knowledge, of course.
Good catch, NC.
Leon. Yeah, great catch there. I do want to get back to Rex Ryan here, Bob, because again, as I mentioned, it's not just a trip down nostalgia, which I'm sure it will be, but like his son, Seth Ryan, is a passing game coordinator. I remember his son because we must be around the same age, because when I was at Jets training camp in Cortland, he's just a teenage ball boy. I'm just a teenage fan in the stands. When he was at Cortland, I remember seeing Seth Ryan. And now we fast forward both of our lives to 2026. I'm talking about a Jets podcast, and he is on the Jets coaching staff. And apparently this isn't just some nepotism hire Rex called in a favor. Apparently Seth Ryan is getting all kinds of rave reviews from guys like Ben Johnson and Frank Reich and all these guys about his genius and offensive creativity and things of that nature. It sounds like he's a super bright kid.
Well, it sounds the same. By the way, I think he is exactly your age. I believe he is 32.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
You are.
Okay, there you go.
But, we didn't realize it at the time, but it would have been very, very reasonable to assume that this was a guy who was a sponge as far as picking things up, because he was on that Clemson team, I think, for 4 years without really being a regular. I think he was a placeholder, a place kicker.
Yes, I think that was one of his roles. Yes.
Yeah, and it's a critical role. But it's not, in every play, type of situation. And with a father like he had and the background that he came from, I'm sure that he was just collecting everything up there. And then he hung around in that program. They wanted him there. And so he must have been very good, very astute, and a very good teacher, during that tenure as well. So I guess it shouldn't be surprising.
Especially, again, being around everyone is from his grandpa Buddy, who you were talking about, to his dad Rex. And he's a funny man. I heard, so we don't, unfortunately, I can't play clips of Seth Ryan. Assistant/positional coaches do not get press conferences that are posted on the team website. It is private media responses, whatever the media choose to share from those conversations are the only things we hear. Apparently, Zach Wesblad said Seth Ryan walked up to the normal podium that Aaron Glenn was at to give his press conference, and they went, sorry, buddy, it's in the side room. He went, oh, yes, of course. And then he goes into the side room, and they tell that story that there's a saying in the Ryan family that Buddy told Rex, I want you to be better than me. Rex told Seth, I want you to be better than me. So Seth, when he went through that whole process, said, that's when I decided to be an offensive coach to guarantee that I would be better than my dad at that. And that made me laugh. I said, okay, right, Buddy Ryan, this great defensive mind. Rex, this great defensive mind. Just whoop, zig while others are zagging. Smart man, Seth Ryan. Smart man. So, hey, mixing him in with Frank Reich can only help. And who knows?
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how the media covers, Rex's arrival this coming week.
Yes,
he's not the celebrity or the must meet for a lot of these players now, other than his media presence that it would have been like 10 years ago when he had just left coaching. So anyway,
I would just say if things go right, like Aaron Glenn does not get fired, there were some reports that Frank Reich was considering retirement this offseason. He sort of pushed back against that during his press conference, but whatever the case may be, there was a lot of reports that he was considering retirement. He decided to come back out. I don't know how long. Normally, these coaches get 3-year contracts in a normal situation, so I'm not sure if Frank got that or some special deal for whatever it is, but if Frank is closer to the end than the beginning, which I think we can all sort of work our way towards, and if Aaron Glenn doesn't get fired, because then normally the rest of the coaching staff gets fired, maybe Seth Ryan is the long-term replacement for Frank. If things work out with Aaron and Frank teaches Seth as much as he can on top of whatever Seth has learned in the past, maybe he could be the long-term OC for the Jets. Wouldn't that be something special, huh?
It would be unusual. I don't think he's going to quite make that kind of a leap, but it's a progression, and it could eventually lead to that kind of an opportunity for Seth somewhere, if not with the Jets. So,
are you a nostalgic guy, Bob Lederer?
Say again?
Are you a nostalgic guy? Just like, maybe it's not these two direct stories, but just as an example, right? Rex coming back to the Jets, Seth coming back to the Jets, Mike Westhoff coming back to the Jets this week. Like, I think I can speak for me. I don't want to speak for the fans. Like, I get a warm, tingly feeling inside. Oh, man, there's Westy. I love that guy forever. Oh, wow, Rex. Well, this is great.
I think the older you get, less you get that tingly.
Less you get it. Okay. Yeah, I thought it would be more interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's less because I remember Rex, and I couldn't understand when they were looking for a head coach. Why would they even consider Rex Ryan? It didn't make any sense. To me, it was, been there, done that. Let's get somebody who's in step with the way the league is and the way things are changing and such. So I'm curious. I'm interested that Rex is going to be there when, I'll be traveling, on as it is now on Monday night. So I'll look forward to going online when I get to my destination and reading about Rex and how that goes. And I'm interested that Westhoff was there. I would be more interested if somebody actually reported on, Westhoff and talk with him about his conversations, that he might have had with any of the Jets personnel while he was there. But I would imagine that he probably would hold it close to the vest and treat it more like a personal, type of situation.
I will tell you, everybody, I am going to try to get Westhoff on because his award ceremony is in 2 weeks. He was just freshly off OTAs. And it's unclear because media was only at one of the 3 OTA practices this week. But Rich said when he was talking to Westy that night after the OTAs, Westy said, ooh, maybe I want to go back to practice the next day. But he was worried about all the travel from the Knicks game. He said, geez, am I going to be able to get in and out like that? I was concerned with.
See what happens when you get older, what you start to get concerned with?
The priorities of like, traffic, boy, I'm not so sure. So
by the way, this is Jets, but I've just seen so many people talking about the Knicks this week.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Wednesday night for me was a mix of disaster and euphoria. Disaster because we were supposed to fly out Thursday morning yesterday.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay, and we had a 6:00 flight out of O'Hare. And at 9:00, in the midst of the Knicks game on Wednesday night, my wife said to me, I just got an email and our flight is canceled. And I went, oh my God, really? Let me see it. And we looked at it. I said, so we had to make a connecting flight in Newark. And the note that we got from United was the flight and several others are canceled because the air controllers in Newark can't handle all the incoming traffic. And I went, Wow. Now that's a new one. I've heard of, malfunctions and equipment
Sure.
failures and
Gas, right? They run out of
they
gas.
can't get
or
a
something.
crew and that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
right. Yeah.
So we called United and we waited about 55 minutes. And they said, hey, yours is not the only flight that's been canceled. They canceled the 5, the 6, the 7. Everything is canceled until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And I said, but our connecting flight is at 1:30 this afternoon. So we had to try to juggle a bunch of balls simultaneously to try to figure out, well, how are we going to get to Israel, which is where we're going.
Right.
And in the midst of it, we have the Knick game on.
Mm-hmm.
And we turned the sound off so that we could, and the Knicks were getting killed at the time.
Sure.
But we took the sound off so we could just kind of look and see what the score was and whatever, while we could try to figure out what our next
airport situation.
What
Right,
our
right,
next steps were going to be.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, by the end of the third quarter, when the Knicks were really coming back,
Mm-hmm.
it was clear to us we were not going to get out on our scheduled flight on Thursday, or I would be talking to you from Israel right now.
Sure.
But,
right.
But I said to myself, keep the sound off because the Knicks are coming back. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
Thank you for your.
we all know what happened. But here's why I bring it up.
Okay.
That was the greatest comeback in Knicks history. But
yes.
I was at the other, up to that point, greatest comeback in Knicks history.
Oh, did you?
I was at Madison Square Garden on November 18th, 1972. And the Milwaukee Bucks, three of my buddies from Stony Brook, where I was going to school, said, let's get on the Long Island Railroad train, which was a 2.5-hour train ride into Penn Station. Let's go watch the Knicks and the Bucks. So we got tickets and we went that night. Now the Bucks at that time,
isn't Lou Alcindor? Wasn't he there?
Had Jabbar, and they had traded for Oscar Robertson in that.
Oh my God! Wow,
and
Mr. Triple Double himself. Okay,
yeah, and he was still really, really good. And he had a young, I think he was a rookie at that point. His name was Bobby Dandridge, who turned out to be a very good NBA player.
Oh, terrific! What a game!
The Knicks that night, and we were sitting in the cheap seats behind one of the baskets in the new old Garden.
Yep.
And they're losing by 22 in the third quarter. And then something happened. And at the end of the game, the Knicks scored unanswered the last 19 points of the game.
Oh, my Lanta.
And they won the game, I think, by 2 points.
And this is the pre-3-point era.
This is the pre-3-point era. Now, actually, I think Earl Monroe went crazy. Knicks had gotten Earl Monroe that year.
Okay.
And he went crazy in the fourth quarter, and nobody on Milwaukee could stop him. And so that was the greatest comeback in Knicks history. And I'm sitting there Wednesday night, and I turned to my wife and I said, now that was unbelievable what we just saw. But let me tell you what I've seen up close myself 50 years ago, 54 years ago. And so that really amazed me. And I'll give you one more thing, and it's not Knicks, it's Nets related.
Oh yeah, we need more Nets love on the show.
Yes, I was a big Nets ABA fan because of Dr. J.
Sure, that's a good
reason.
I was
at the last ever American Basketball Association game. It was Game 6 of the playoffs in 1975, and the Nets won the ABA championship. And the Nets were losing by 23 points in the middle of the third quarter. And they went, and I was interested in the Nets in those years because I was still in school.
Okay.
And the Nets gave me press passes. And I wanted to be a play-by-play announcer. So I would go to the games with my tape recorder. I would sit up in what it was the hockey boxes, the hockey press boxes, all the way up, on the sidelines, but at center court. And it was not like a nosebleed thing. And I still have the tapes of those games. I still have the tapes of that final game. And to see them come from 23 behind the middle of the third quarter and to win that game. And that's the last game that the ABA ever had, the last game that Julius ever played for the Nets. So I've seen some what I consider very historic and rather unbelievable, professional basketball games. But kudos to the Knicks the other night. I hope they wrap it up in San Antonio. But if not, there's the Garden next week, so we'll see.
That's true. I'm not sure what like a Jake Asman is rooting for, because if they come back to Game 6, he has to sacrifice another one of his children's future college educations to go. If he gets finished in 5, that won't be necessary. So I'm not sure what he's rooting for there already.
Yeah, I mean, I would. It's funny being here in Chicago and marrying into the wonderful family that I did. My father-in-law was a big Cub and White Sox fan.
Oh, wow.
And I tried over and over again to have him. He was in his early 70s. And I tried over and over again to get him to come with me to Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
To watch, frankly, to watch a Cub Mets game.
Sure.
And he always said to me, "Why do I want to go there? I'm so comfortable here in my chair. And I can go and get my, my coffee or my beverage of choice and just put my feet up and just relax."
That's a movie, Rudy, the dad, of trying to get him to the game.
I want to have the experience, and he wouldn't do it. Well, now, I every time I go to Wrigley Field, and I enjoy it, when I come back from Wrigley Field after a 2 or 3 hour game, I am limp from just sitting there and just the experience of a 74-year-old guy trudging his way there. And I usually drive downtown, park about 6 blocks away from the ballpark for free, walk to the park, take my seat upstairs, then walk back at the end of the game, whatever. And I come back and I am ready to just collapse.
Yeah.
So as you get older, it gets tougher and tougher, just to enjoy an afternoon out at the ballpark or the field or whatever. So you guys out there, except for, like Briga and a couple of other guys, you'll find out what I'm talking about. But anyway, enjoy it while you can.
Okay. So that is ultimately the message, though, is while it was quite a trek for this Wrigley Field, you didn't regret it after?
No, actually, as tired as I wasn't. And my wife will always say, "Did you have a good time?" And yeah, I had a very good time. In fact, I went to one game this year, and the Mets are horrible, obviously, this year. And they were horrible that day. But it was like 70, 75 degrees. It was a breeze. I was sitting in the shade, had a couple of Diet Cokes and a bunch of peanuts, and it was very comfortable. And it was a nice day out, getting away from everything, getting away from, a cell phone and everything else. Just watching the game with my scorecard, and because I always fill out a scorecard.
Yeah.
So I'm not sorry that I did it at all, but it is taxing on this old body.
Certainly. I could totally understand that. We have 160 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe if you haven't already. As Bob described the other day, we're in a little bit of a rut right now. We haven't had a lot of subscriber movement here recently. So let's see if we could get that train back rolling down the track here.
Hey, we're on a road to 10,000, folks. Yeah. Come on, let's get this done.
Yeah, let's get keep the train analogies working. Let's pick up the steam. Let's see if we can work that in there,
Yeah, we're not a bunch of cabooses. We're the strong engines. Come on.
Okay, a couple of things here I see in comments, and then we could decide where we're going to go next here, Bob. First off, from Mark Cicchetti, rumors are heating up that the Jets are going to get a veteran quarterback to be QB2. I did hear that from Rich Cimini on the Jets Collective podcast. So it was less a report and more he described it just a gut feeling that he believes that the Jets so we had OTAs, those are over. Now we'll have mandatory minicamp next week. And after that, sometime between that and training camp, Rich Cimini says he just sort of has a feeling that Jets will add a veteran quarterback. And so Cade, Bailey, Zappi, and all those guys will fall one shot lower on the depth chart, and they'll bring in a veteran guy. I don't know who it's going to be because names are running out, but that's what Rich Cimini says his gut was.
Well, the Cade is God era seems to have kind of faded away, at least for the moment.
Yeah. He has a tight back right now, which isn't great. You never want a young guy having a tight back when nothing has really happened yet. But the team has reiterated it's not a big deal. You'll see him next week. So we got to take him at their word, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But I don't know who they can really get that's going to be any kind of a difference maker.
Yeah,
But
there's
you know,
only
obviously,
like two names, right? So there's Cooper Rush who's still out there and he's available. And then there's Jimmy Garoppolo, but I think he's going to retire, so he's not really an option. So that's it.
That's what everybody's been saying all off season.
Yeah.
I would think if they're going to get a veteran,
Mhm.
you know, look, they just signed a kicker and then got rid of the kicker like inside of a week.
That is true.
And they might do that, bring in a quarterback, and then as somebody gets cut from some other team, they might
Swap them out.
Yeah, swap them out because there's not going to be anybody that's going to be, you know, a game breaker. But they just need somebody who can know the system, learn the system quickly, and be ready at a moment's notice to jump in and, you know, just take the handles and run the offense. And, you know, it's not like last year when there wasn't much of an offense to run.
That's true.
You not only have to know what to do, but you have to have some practice time, you know, with the talents that they've got on board. You can't just hand it off to Brees on every down. You have to be ready to throw the ball to, you know, to who their wide receiver core now, which is going to be, you know, pretty diversified in a lot of different ways.
Well, let me ask you that, Bob. You just mentioned that you just can't hand it to Brees every play, of course, or you know that'd be too much. But Aaron Glenn made a comment this week that had me, you know, lean forward in the chair a little bit. But I wonder if it's just random talk here in June, or is there like a little seedling that we're gonna say, "Huh, interesting." Put that in the back of the head, and then when something happens this season, we're like, "Damn it!"
Was this the televised press conference he had
It was.
the other day?
Yes, it
was.
was.
I watched it twice.
Yes.
Because
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
Maybe you'll remember the comment. The comment was this, and it just made my ears perk up. And out of nowhere, Aaron Glenn used a phrase he had used last year. He said, you know, basically, I'm ready to use the, quote, three-headed monster again at running back. And he's referencing Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and Brees Hall. And he said that last year, and that picked up a lot of steam because people were like, I thought Brees Hall was the bell cow. We thought that last year. Now it's even more prominent, of course, because Brees Hall was just paid a bag of money. And yet Aaron Glenn brought it back up. So I'll just simply ask it to you in this way, Bob. Is this just random coach speak and that's just what Aaron Glenn is saying? Or are they really going to operate a committee backfield despite paying Brees Hall a top 10 highest paid running back contract?
I think they're going to run a group backfield. Wow. Mostly, I would say that Brees is going to get 3/4 of the carries.
Okay.
But I still think that Braylon Allen on third and short is a monster. And especially with, you know, an offensive line that now has had some time together and that can, you know, Smolinski was talking about, he didn't quite understand how they run their offenses. He says, you know, they used to give us the ball and then we'd pick our holes. And now they say, no, you're going to run between the right guard and the right tackle. And I guess what he didn't say was, what am I supposed to do if there's no hole there? You know, we've seen that happen with Brees, where he starts to go in one direction and he stops and he gets swarmed, you know, because he has nowhere to go. But I think that Braylon Allen, which we saw really, he ran effectively in the preseason last year. But then he got hurt, 4 games into the season?
Yep, week 4, Monday Night Football, Dolphins.
That guy is a bull. And with the line they have, unless they completely give it away and always give it to him on third and short, he should be able to very effectively most of the time get them first downs. But again, now that they have some diversification and quality at wide receiver and at tight end and such, you know, he can be a great fake in the backfield, and maybe he comes out of the backfield and catches the ball.
100%. I think that's what we need to highlight here, Bob, because if Braylon just trots out on the field on every 3rd and 1, the defense is like, all right, here we go.
But if they're back to line, which, you know, and Frank Reich is smart enough to realize that they're going to do that. So you have to have, you know, they'll try it a couple of times, even against a stacked, you know, defense to see, well, let's see what the line can do. And mostly think you'll see this in preseason. But they'll try to see, well, let's see what the offensive line can do when they're really faced with, you know, not insurmountable, but difficult, you know, odds of running the ball. Let's see what they can do.
There is nothing more demoralizing, though.
I mean, you hit on it. You can't do it every 3rd and 1.
Yeah, definitely not. But there's nothing more demoralizing, though, when you're a quarterback, he's under center and he leans across the line and says, "Hey, we're going to run it right here. I dare you to stop us." And then you're able to run the play that you want and punch them in the face and impose your will. There's something interesting about that. But again, to your point, can you do a little razzle dazzle? They bring Braylon Allen out there, and defenses assume they plow up the line of scrimmage. It's play action. Or that Braylon runs a pass that is just dropping back from under center and then getting him out on the perimeter, maybe. So that's what I'm intrigued by.
I disagree. I don't think Brees is going to be out there 3rd and 1. Unless
I'm talking about Braylon.
Braylon Allen's going to be out there in 3rd and 1. He has to be, if he at least a decoy, if he isn't, the primary, target. And that's his strength. And in fact, listening to Glenn the other day, he made the point about how good Braylon Allen looks.
Yes.
And essentially how much the Jets missed him last year after he got hurt. And so I think, I think they will try to even spot him in preseason and make sure that he's okay, because he did a lot of carrying the ball in the preseason last year. And see what we can do. But I'm looking forward to that because with him and Brees and is it Davis, who is
Isaiah Davis? Yep, Jack
Davis, the 3rd back. They've got a nice complement of speed and of power and of flexibility in Davis to be able to do everything. And I don't know if this is the kind of offensive coordinator that Reich is, but I'd love to see him really make use of all the capabilities of these guys.
Definitely.
Because I know that Braylon Allen can catch the ball too. And boy, you get him out in the open against a safety or whatever, you're just going to knock him, into the next zip code. So
yeah, he's going to knock the snot out of him. There's no question about it. Now, Bob, we need your thoughts on another controversy here. First off, are you an open-toed shoed kind of guy?
Oh, no.
No. Okay. What about? Are you a Crocs guy? Do you like Crocs?
Oh no.
Okay. All right.
Give me. They call them gym shoes today. I called them sneakers growing up.
As do I. I still call them sneakers.
I go to the beach and I never take them off if I can. I hate the feel of sand on my feet. I hate coming home and having to immediately go into the shower and wash.
The sand is in the crevices, right?
And I hate the heat.
The heat I hate.
Of the ground and of the sand as well. So I'm none of those, and I know what you're referring to.
Yes.
For the great event in July.
That is correct. As Mark Sacchetti asked, any update on the open toe controversy regarding the beach party with Lou? Because a lot of people are saying, so when I bring up the graphics, so I guess I'll bring it up now. Saturday, July 11th, we're less than a month away. It was a month from yesterday. It's Saturday, July 11th, the Gang Green Beach Club at Atlantic City, HQ2 Beach Club at the Ocean Casino Resort. I'll hide Mark's comment for a second so you guys can see all the details. GanggreenBeachClub.com has information and also where you can purchase tickets. They're $25 a pop. And when I promote this and bring it up, there's a few key points. I'm like, hey, it's 21 and over, so don't bring your kids to this event. The doors open at noon. The doors close at 6. No jeans, no open-toed shoes, and 21 and over. And people went, no open-toed shoes at a beach club. What does that mean? And I'm like, well, there could be broken glass, and then people get hurt. And so there's going to be drinking there, so you have to be very careful. Closed-toed shoes will prevent some of those scenarios. However, Lou B called into the show and explained that if you want to hop in the swimming pool, you can take off your shoes. You, in fact, can take off your shoes, which I assumed you could, but it's good to know it from the horse's mouth, Lou B, to understand all the rules. So, yes, if you want to take a dip in the pool, you take your shoes off, and then you can come out and dry off. I'm sure they got towels, and then you can put your very dry feet back into your shoes. So, yes, the controversy has been addressed. He said he would look into Crocs. I don't know if we heard about that, but again, I'm not a Crocs guy. I don't know. They look stupid. I'm sure they're comfortable from what people say, but I just can't see myself wearing them.
My wife,
I feel like I'm above that.
My wife and my kids, they're big on Crocs, and I go,
really? Okay. But they haven't converted you yet.
And they never will.
There you go. That's the spirit. Mark Sacchetti says, usually you wear sandals at the beach. But again, this, from what I understand, I've never been to this event, so I just want to make that clear. From what I understand, you have to go, the beach club is going to have a pool and like a club together, you can have access to the beach. The beach is a separate thing. So from what I understand, the beach is not literally part of the party. You have to go to the beach from what I understand. So again, I haven't been there, so I hope I'm explaining it quite well. And yes, Yoham's like, wait, it's a beach club, but no beach. I don't know. Okay, well, Lou B has organized this event. I'm sorry for the people that
You
are
know,
open-toed shoes. I'm wearing sneakers.
I saw Mark post a note a little while ago about how easy it is to take the Long Island Railroad
Yeah.
into Penn Station. And here's my recollection of the Long Island Railroad
Yeah.
in the 70s when I was
right.
taking it from Queens to get to my college out in Stony Brook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the bathroom was?
No, what?
The bathroom was a door that you went inside of, and there was a hole in the ground.
Oh, gross. Okay.
That was the bathroom.
That's vivid. Well,
that's my memory of the Long Island Railroad.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome.
By the way, Luby says he's checking with his people on the Crocs. He'll get back to people. Okay, don't wear Crocs at this party, people. I mean, geez, Lou. But he's looking into it. But here's another update for Sunday's show. I do the show every day, of course, Boy Green Daily. By the way, welcome in if you're just randomly joined us. It's a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast, where we talk Rex Ryan, Mike Westhoff, and open-toed shoes. Luby, Super Jets fan, says, I'm going to set a full video of the venue for Sunday's show, which will be awesome to see exactly what we're getting ourselves into for Saturday, July 11th, and hopefully that answers a lot of your questions out there in the audience, which again takes us to our raffle tickets because that does include the Gang Green Beach Club event. Here's all the items we're giving away. We do a raffle every single month on this channel throughout the entire month of June. So it's June 12th today, throughout the rest of the month of June. Every time you guys spend $3 on the channel, you get a raffle ticket to win all of these prizes. We'll give them away officially on July 1st. We have a pair of tickets to that Gang Green Beach Club event that we were just talking about. It is Saturday, July 11th, Atlantic City, Ocean Casino Resort. More information is at ganggreenbeachclub.com. And there's a full guest list that's including your favorite beat reporters, your favorite content creators, and there's going to be fellow Jet fans out there, including moi. I will be out there with several Boy Green Coffee Club members, so I hope you guys can attend. But we're giving away 2 tickets, so you and a friend can go free of charge. You will not need the $50 if you win this raffle. You will be able to get in for free, which is the best kind of price there is. And on top of those 2 tickets, we're also giving away 2 items from the draft: a 15 by 15-inch New York Jets canvas with Jets logo, draft logos. It was a special gift from the Jets for being in the pit, and then a rally towel from the draft with the draft logo on it, and the pick is in all caps. I was swinging this above my head, and now you guys can swing it above your head or hang it up or do whatever the hell you want with it. Again, that'll be coming up on July 1st. So keep submitting those bids. Thank you, NC Green, Austrian, and a few people so far have taken advantage of that. It's a pretty sweet prize pack, and I hope you guys can take advantage of it. Bob, is there anything else you wanted to get to before we get to the fans?
Oh, yes, absolutely, because everybody holds me in such high esteem. Thank you, but you shouldn't hold me in that high in esteem. Why?
No?
Because on this very program last week, somebody posted and said, Bob, what's going to happen with the Bears? Are they moving to Indiana? And I forthrightly told everybody, no, they're going to stay in Chicago. And lo and behold, 4 hours later, the Bears had a press release that said, we're moving to Indiana. So take my predictions at less than face value.
Less? Oh, boy.
In fact, if you ask me who's going to win the Knicks in San Antonio, whichever way I tell you, go the other way.
Yeah.
Because that's why I don't bet on anything, because I am pretty perceptive about a lot of things, but I do not hold the cards when it comes to projecting things. And by the way, it's ridiculous for the Bears to go to Indiana and I haven't even seen it in the press yet, but we all know the Bears kept comparing it to the Jets and Giants in New York. Nobody here has talked about the traffic jams that are going to be caused because they don't have the infrastructure, to get 70,000 people to a stadium that's 30 miles away. Just like they don't have it in New York. There's too many cars for, not enough highway space and tunnels and everything else. So anyway, that was my wife and I were out doing a little bit of shopping, and my wife said, you need to see this. I said, what's that? I said, the Bears are moving to Indiana. I went, what?
So apparently,
I just told Paul this morning, it's never going to happen.
yeah. From what I've heard, so I'm sure, Bob, you're hearing it way more than me being there. But I try to listen to a lot of interviews, so things I don't understand, hopefully I can learn more.
Yeah.
From what I understand, this is very serious, what the Bears are attempting to do here, potentially go to Indiana. However, there is a chance.
It could still change. It could
Right.
still change.
There's a chance that this is like, hey, this is serious. We're going to do this. Chicago, step up or else. And it's like a threat to say, hey, look, this is very serious. Oh, and then Chicago just steps up to the plate and does what is necessary to keep them. But from what NFL Insider, I believe it was Tom Pelissero and Rich Eisen said, that Chicago isn't taking what they perceive as the potential Indiana bluff seriously, that they're like, yeah, you guys are just playing around. Like they call it a bluff, and they're going to initially apparently stick at their line of whatever the negotiations are. And that may unfortunately cost them. So we'll see.
Well, the Bears are just, as a management team,
yeah,
they are just not very bright at all. I didn't realize this. I said last week, because it's a fact, the Bears bought the Arlington Heights racetrack from Churchill Downs, which owned the land. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
The land was, this happened about 10 years ago. The land was valued at about $98 million.
Oh my
The Bears paid $250 million for land that was worth $98 million. And now what's holding them up from building a stadium there, which they say they'll build using their own money. What's holding them up is they want to have what they call tax certainty. They want to know exactly how much
I've heard
this. Taxed every single year, rather than having it fluctuate, always up, obviously.
Yeah.
And they need the House and the Senate's legislature to approve that. And they're just fiddling around and taking their time. And frankly, the thing that I don't understand is Governor Pritzker, who has presidential aspirations, is letting this all go, work its way out and not stepping in and saying, okay, guys, let's get this done already. He hasn't done that. I don't quite understand it. I know there are financial issues that are involved. And what really precipitated this last week is that the legislature was going out of session and they desperately needed to pass the budget for the whole state for the upcoming year. And that meant, how much money we're going to get for the schools and how much we're giving to, the police and the sanitation and everything else. And the Bears got short shrift on that, but it should have been part of the package. They should have gotten it out of the way. Now there's talk about having a special session, but everyone is still waiting for the governor to call the special session. So they are trying to call the Bears bluff. But the Bears have a real sweetheart deal sitting for them in Indiana. And, who knows what's going to happen. So I'm not going to, I'll predict the Bears are going to go to Indiana. There we go.
The opposite. All right.
You heard it from me first. Or
they're staying in Chicago. That's good to know. Hey, breaking news. Breaking news here on the show, everybody. Here it is. Green light on the Crocs, people. You are allowed to wear Crocs at the Gang Green Beach Club event.
Thank God. I was about to lose it.
I know, 100%. This is the news you guys were all waiting for. So there you go.
Thank you, Lou B. You're always there when we need you.
Yes, he's always wearing. He sent me a bunch of photos of the venue. I was looking at it. I've never been to a beach club before, so I was seeing the photos. I'm like, oh, cool. I've seen it now that I've seen the photos that Lou B sent. I now understand. I've seen like shows like which I'm sure Bob, you and the wife are big fans of, like Jersey Shore and stuff like that.
Oh,
so I'm
absolutely.
Sure, yeah. And I've seen, now I know this, like where you have a secluded area if you want somewhat secluded. Like if me and you were at the Gang Green Beach Club, we wanted to talk and chat and have a drink or whatever, we could do that. And then we could jump in the pool and then walk around. So it's open, but there are these like little cubby pockets where there's tables.
If we jumped in the pool, would you be grabbing my hand and jumping, or would I have to grab your hand and jump in?
It's probably like, one of those centipede things where I go cannonball and then you just follow me, or vice versa. And then we're like, woohoo. And we just sort of engage people. That's sort of my thought process. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. Okay, so Mark Cicchetti is trying to get BG Crocs going to the party. I'm not sure I'm going to check that one off the bucket list, but I guess in life they say don't hate it till you
And
try
I
it.
don't think
So-
Crocs are that inexpensive either to buy, and it just
Oh, are they expensive? Oh, I didn't
no,
know. That.
I don't think they're inexpensive. I don't think they're, to me, buying a bunch of
see.
walkwear that have holes in it.
How much for a
That's
pair of
too much for me.
Crocs? Let's see. How
It's
much?
like I don't understand people who buy jeans that are torn.
Mhm.
What's your feeling about
Okay.
that?
Yes, yeah, my. Oh my! Wow, they really range in price. There's $40 ones, there's $100 ones, there's $50
For
ones.
shoes with holes in it.
That they do. That they do. It's funny you mentioned that because my grandfather always used to bring that up, and my father brought it up. So we try to FaceTime the grandparents so they could see the grandkids, like at least once a week. I'm always working, so sometimes on the weekend. And my father saw that my daughter had these jeans on that just had rips all throughout them, and he made a comment like, "God, geez, what happened to your pants?" Like, did he get attacked by a raccoon or something, or whatever he said? And yeah, so apparently some stuff. I don't wear ripped jeans.
OGs think alike.
Yeah, I don't wear ripped jeans, but God bless to those.
Oh, I mean, you just buy regular jeans and take a razor blade without your having them on and cut them, and you got the same thing.
JR327 is saying
and they charge extra. They charge extra for those.
That is funny, right? You'd think that they would charge less because there's less material, that that would be possible. Let me look these up. So, okay, so JR327 says they have New York Jets Crocs. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? All right. So depending on the quality, I see some from $20, $40. But I'm a big stickler about this. I don't know how many other people are sticklers about this. I like current logo, okay, or old logo in, technically old now, new once again. Like I get everything is vintage and everything's nostalgic at some point, but right now I don't want the old logo. So I see a lot of these Crocs being sold with the old logo. I don't want the old logo. I want the current Jets logo. That's what I want of these. If I was to ever get Crocs, which again, not sure I want to jump on that.
Well, I must say it's conversations like this that really prove to me we need to have more ex-Super Bowl Jets on to talk to.
Yeah, clearly. I think that's definitely something to do, which Bob will be talking about here shortly. So let me say this while we're all here before we go to phone lines, do anything else crazy. At a certain point in the show, it's going to be somewhere in the next hour, Boy Green, this is a game show, and I let it be known at the beginning that we all have lifelines to use. I'm going to choose to use a phone a friend option somewhere in the next hour. So you will see me react when I get a bring, and I'll be like, oh, okay. And that will be from the New York Jets. And that is important for our tailgate, and who knows what else is going to come for that conversation. At that moment in time, I will hand off the ball to Bob Lederer. I will call him into the game, and like Frank Reich, he will orchestrate one of the greatest comebacks of all time, and he will try to lift this show from whatever hole I've dug it into, and he will do that with his candor and intelligence and wit.
And Paul doesn't realize I've been diabolically working towards this for a long
boy. Well, now you have your chances. Say and do whatever the hell you want. I will have the phone lines open, so if we have guests, I'll throw on a guest of choice for you.
Please.
And we'll do it. So there you go. So yes, I should have a massive update on the on our tailgate situation. It's really, quite frankly, it's not just a massive update. It's sort of the last piece of the puzzle because everything is all pretty aligned. I'm just waiting for this detail, and then I'll be able to make a new poster to promote everything. But I will say real quick, a huge shout out. It happened this morning, folks. I see we have a super chat in. We'll get to that too. Let's give a massive shout out to Easy. He has paid for his ticket. Now, I will say, he paid for his ticket last year. He also didn't go. But he paid for his ticket this year and says, hey, announce it to the world that I've paid for my ticket and I'm coming. So Easy, I just want you to know, I believe you're coming. I believe you. But there will still be some out in the audience that despite you paying will go, I got to see it to believe it. So Easy, I believe you're coming. You've now paid your ticket, so thank you very much. And that's beautiful. And again, new updates to come within the next hour, but we'll see if you do come. I believe you will, but I don't know if everyone in the audience is going to believe whether or not You do. Jake Asman, here it is. It's the weekly super chat from the one and only Jake friggin' Asman. Hit it, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Death, taxes, and Bob Lederer on a Friday. Oh, yeah. A little Kool-Aid man. See, he changed the script for you, Bob, I'm pretty sure, on the verbiage here in the super chat.
And we'll take all the support we can get.
No doubt about it, Jake. That is now 2 raffle
Thank you,
tickets
Jake.
for you. Yes, very much so. Great job on the Jets Collective podcast. I had a lot of laughs yesterday, so you guys are doing a wonderful job of that show. The full Jets Collective, of course, will be at that Gangrene Beach Club event we were just talking about a second ago, gangrenebeachclub.com. For information, also tickets are $25 a pop. Jake reported that we have over 100 tickets already sold, which is spectacular. So thank you, everybody out there that is going to be attending. Thank you, Jake. All right, Bob, is there anything else before we get to the phone lines?
I am all talked out.
Okay, as am I. So we'll get to the phone lines, and you guys can call about Crocs, Rex Ryan, Mike Westhoff, and everything in between. We'll be right back after this.
Taxes.
That's it.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show also available wherever you get your podcast. And I just want to address a comment real quick before we get going. We got a bunch of calls. And Dave Briga asked, did Easy get a refund last year? No, he did not. And let me make this perfectly and abundantly, transparently clear that there are no refunds on the tickets. Once you guys purchase, it's in. Now, if you want to sell your tickets on your own outside of some situation presents itself, you can feel free to do so. But yes, for anyone out there that bought tickets through me for this event, for the tailgate, this or that, that is on you. I can try to help, but I'm not making any guarantees. So if something comes up in your life and you bought a ticket, you're like, geez, I can no longer go. I can try to assist you to try to help move that ticket, but no guarantees that if you somehow can't move it, I guess that seat will be empty. So folks, just want to make that clear. So no, Easy did not get a refund last year. We were able to move it with him to someone else when he was unable to go. So again, I will attempt to help, but no guarantees on that. I just want to make that clear. So, Dave, actually, thank you for asking that question. There are absolutely no refunds. So just keep that in mind, people, for this event. Again, I should have within the hour. I will be receiving my phone a friend option, and I will address those phone calls coming up. Again, we're, of course, joined by my co-host extraordinaire, Bob Lederer, who is the author of this book, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl Team That Changed Football. And again, we'll have some announcements on that. Perhaps Bob will share during his time hosting the show, and maybe we'll just call it a Bob Lederer Daily. And then maybe you never hear from me again. Who knows what is up to the diabolical
I can't get up at 5:30 every day.
That's a good point, right? This is a weekly grab here, a weekly grab bag, unless you permanently move to Israel. So that could.
Yeah, everybody. When I see you next week, I'm going to really enjoy it because I will show up, and it'll be 2:30 in the afternoon.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty
so
good.
I'm going to be able to sleep really late.
Yeah, I think so. All right. The phone lines are open. That is youtube.com/boygreen25 on YouTube. Appreciate you guys out in the audience. Let's start off here, Bob, with my favorite caller. My number one favorite. It's C, baby.
Hey.
C with the big captain on the chat.
Or Carl, or as he prefers.
Just by many names.
Okay.
Good to see you guys on a Friday.
Good to see you.
I've been done early with my swimming. I've been in the pool already.
Mm-hmm.
And just wanted to talk about the shoe wear situation.
Please, yes, please. I've been waiting for bated breath on your thoughts.
Shoegate.
You can buy imitation Crocs much cheaper than the real Crocs. My younger granddaughter wears Crocs with those little stickers all over them, like little, you know what I mean? Did you ever see them?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. I've seen those, yes.
Yeah, and those are expensive, man. I can't believe it. And
Really?
ripped jeans. I have a couple of pairs of ripped jeans that I only wear when I'm out in the yard doing something.
Why?
And I've worn my ripped jeans over to my daughter's house when my granddaughters were home, and they laugh at me because I'm wearing ripped jeans, and they're going out and buying ripped jeans. And I'm like, I will give you my ripped jeans for free. Nah, we don't want those ripped jeans. We want to buy our own ripped jeans. It's really, it's really weird. As far as shoes, these are my shoes of choice around the house.
Oh, open-toed. Okay, all right, there you go. Okay. Nice.
They're sort of made out of Croc material.
Okay.
But they're very soft and squishy. So I like to wear them. I like to wear them walking around the inside of the house.
Do you ever bump your feet into something and almost break a toe?
Stub a toe. Oof, that's the worst.
Oh, well, I do have sandals that the toes are not open. They just have a lot of openings around them.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm a feng shui guy. I don't wear shoes in the house. It's a shoe at the door.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people have this rule where when you come into the house, you have to take the shoes off.
Yeah.
And one time, a long time ago, when I was living in Florida, I had just bought a house and just had new carpeting. And my mother came from New York to visit. And I said, Mom, if you're coming in the house, could you take your shoes off? She went berserk. She got so pissed off at me, she left. She wouldn't take her shoes off. And I don't know if my mother had smelly feet or if she was embarrassed about her feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, she got pissed off at me for asking her to take her shoes off.
All right, let's just open up Pandora's box on this. Okay. So here's the situation. Okay.
Okay.
My fiance's family is coming to visit, and my parents too. I think they do it, but my fiance's family is coming to visit. And again, it's very clear that it's a shoes off house. I mean, if you open my door and look to the left, there are 30 or 50 shoes all lined up in pairs on the side. Like, wow, okay, well, I shouldn't be wearing my shoes in here. And then people, when they come to the house, because I greet them and I help them with luggage or something, like if they've arrived, and then they walk past these lines of shoes. And they're trying to come in the house. And at first I sort of try to block them subtly, like, is there anything else you have to do before you come in here? And nope. And then they just walk in and I'm just stewing behind it. I'm just shoes, not gonna put the damn shoes. And then they're just doing it. And I'm just seeing it. And I'm just like, I don't know if I'm a germaphobe or something. I just like, out of like a feng shui, samurai respect, like take the damn shoes off. So how do you subtly say it? Because Carl, you just said that you just said, hey, before you come in the house, get check out, and they go berserk. So is there another path here? What should I be doing?
I don't know. I mean, I have shoes by the door. These shoes I just showed you. And they don't go out of the house. They stay by the door.
Okay.
So
an indoor cat versus outdoor cat. Yeah. Now I understand. That's acceptable.
So when I come in, I take my outside shoes off and slip my feet into these shoes.
I approve.
Now my wife, who has about 500 different pairs of sneakers,
naturally, right?
And she leaves them all over the house. She leaves them near the coffee table. If you walk, she has a room. It's a guest room.
Yeah.
And she uses it as a giant closet. All her shit's in there. If you walk in that room, there are racks of shoes. You can't believe it. And these are shoes that cost like $100.
Oh God.
Are you kidding me? And I'm like, what do you need all these shoes for? And she just leaves them all over the house.
That would
And
piss me off. If I
I
just went
picked-
to random rooms and saw like shoes just lay there, I would just be.
Well, to keep everything, not make a big deal about it,
Okay.
I picked them up and put them by the door.
Oh, okay. To try to teach her,
Okay.
hey, this is where they should go. Their
Yes.
designated area is a term I use in the house all the time. I'll be like, hey, honey,
Right.
where's the remote? Yeah, let's leave it back in the designated area. She seems to really appreciate that. Yeah.
So I'm the type of person that is like this. She always says to me, like, Saturday is a day that I like to clean the house a lot, on Saturday.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I get up in the morning, and she always says to me, like, she'll go to the gym and she'll come back if you want me to do something, all you have to do is ask me.
Mhm.
And I'm like, there are things you should do that you do not need to be asked about.
Mhm.
Things that you should they're in your brain. I do these things because they need to be done.
Mhm.
So we have this whole different vibe, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And my late wife, we were on the same level playing field.
Sure.
We did, she knew what to do. It was like a thing without even saying. We
Mhm.
just knew what each other was going to do. But, this new one has been about 8 years and I'm still getting used to it,
Mhm.
When
It's,
you have a guest, when you have a guest that comes, you should give them a ticket and say, "Give me your shoes. I'll give you your shoes back when you give me the ticket back."
Also, yeah, I see this. Here's a suggestion from Mark Sacchetti. What in the world? What is this, a hotel? He says, don't you tell them when they first come in and offer them house slippers? What? No, I'm not providing an alternative pair of shoes. You bring
Right.
If you have a pair of indoor shoes you want to wear around the house, I guess, okay, fine. But no, I'm not providing you house slippers. What am I, an Airbnb?
Well,
It's not a bowling alley.
Yeah, like,
what you should
exactly.
do.
Like, here you go. What?
I think you can change people's attitude. Keep a big can of Lysol by the door.
Uh-huh.
And when they walk in the house, if they have shoes on, stop them and say, pick your feet up, please, and spray them with Lysol.
Okay, there you go.
Because you want to, you want to kill all those germs.
We need to get some Super Bowl Jets on here real fast.
Or something. But here's the thing, like Yo Home says, why would my shoes come off? I didn't walk through a pile of crap on the way in. I don't know. I don't have a GPS tracker. I don't know what you've walked in. Like, so I try to be safe. Take your shoes off, man.
It doesn't matter if you walk in dog crap or not. The fact is that if you took somebody's shoes that they walk around outside, whether it's in stores, on the grass, on the road, wherever, those shoes are filled with all kinds of bacteria and stuff.
Yes.
But you know what? That's a controversy that I think that won't ever be solved, because I think in the United States, we're probably people that just wear shoes in and out.
I have never heard. Frankly, I have never heard. And we are a no shoes in the house.
Okay, great.
Although we do not impose that on guests.
What?
My wife tells me to take my shoes off, and I'm wearing slippers right now because she says that my shoes scuff up the floor in the kitchen. And
what about your guests? Your guests don't scuff up the floor?
No. Hey, they're our guests. I mean, it's
hell no.
They're not taking up permanent residency here. They're going to be here for
their shoe scuffs could. If they scuff up the floor, they could take up permanent residency.
We'll take care of that. It would take care of that. One of the things I learned when I joined this household, is that when you are the host for that day or whatever, you have to bend your rules for your guests. And that's
I feel like this is my prison. It's my rules. You come to my prison, here are the rules.
It was a very foreign idea to me that you just, I mean, I shouldn't even go into this, but I will. Will gets over on Saturday on Shabbat.
Okay.
And we have things that we generally do and do not do on Shabbat. But most of the time we'll have guests, and they are even stricter in what they will do and not do.
Okay.
And so we abide by their rules and their restrictions. In other
Respect.
words, we won't do what we might ordinarily do because they might find it, well, maybe not offensive, but it's just not the way they live their life. And so we bend for them. And that was a very foreign concept to me when I got married to my wife, but I learned about it very quickly. And I went, okay, I may not like it, but okay, I can do that for 3 or 4 hours. It's, no.
All right. I'm going to tell you one more quick thing about shoes.
Yeah,
And that's it.
All right.
I'm taking up too much time here.
Okay.
Many, many years ago, when I first moved to Florida, I had a house built.
Mm-hmm.
And in my kitchen, I had vinyl.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Right. So I had vinyl floor, and my house was like maybe 6 months old. And I had a New Year's party.
All right.
And people came to my house, and when everybody, was kind of leaving, I went in the kitchen and there were dents, really small dents, all in my kitchen floor. There was about 50 of them.
Like you've been hit with hail. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, what happened? My friend's wife came to my house and she was wearing high heels, and that little pad on the high heels was off. And there was a sharp, little skinny thing. And she walked around my kitchen putting holes in my floor all night.
Oh, wow.
Man, you want to talk about being pissed.
Yeah, sure.
Imagine if you'd had a dancing contest there.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. One more quick thing. My wife is sensitive to fragrances. Okay. And this really embarrassed me. My granddaughters would come over and they used to wear like perfume.
Sure.
So when my wife was like kind of like staying away from everybody because the fragrances would bother her,
okay,
she went out and got a sign and put it on by our front door that said, "This is a fragrance-free zone." And I was like, how do you do that? What do people, what are you going to make people take a shower before they come to your house?
Yeah, that's true. Right. What if they sprayed perfume on at their house? They come over, you're like, ooh, so sorry.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm sorry. I want to spray you with Lysol to make sure.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sorry. You can't come in my house. You smell.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, listen, have a good weekend. It was nice talking to you guys.
Yes.
About non-Jets things.
There you go.
No,
why not?
It wasn't, but we didn't have a choice.
Yeah, June 12th. Why not? I appreciate it. Shout out to UC. We'll see. It's a tailgate. All right, let's get to this. Hep.
Hey, guys. I can't hear you, Paul, so I'm going to just say what I have to say. As far as the shoes go, you just blame it on the kids. You say we can't have, the kids play on the floor all the time, so we can't have all that stuff on there, No, we don't care, but the kids, we blame it on them. And the other thing is that I think the big winner of the OTAs is probably Mitchell. What's your opinion on that? Nice to see you, Bob. I'll see you on the rebound.
There you go. Every once in a while we have phone issues, so sorry for that for people that are calling in and can't hear something. But no, we heard all of you, Hep. Yeah, I would say Adonai Mitchell has really been one of the big standouts of camp. Every other day he seems to be catching touchdown passes in the red zone. That's exciting. It seems like he's getting his feet under him. After being on Indianapolis for a year and a half to get traded to the Jets and then learning different quarterbacks as they were rotating those in and out and learning a playbook and being on a new team and all that jazz. I'm sure that was very difficult for Adonai. And he struggled early with a lot of drops, and then he cleaned that up through the rest of his second half of the Jets season last year. So I'm excited for him. Again, I will continue to reiterate, I need to see it to believe it. I'm not just going to assume he's going to be the number 2 receiver to Garrett Wilson. We also have this first-round receiver. His name's Omar Cooper Jr. I need to see it. But it's been all – I won't lie. I like encouraging things. I'd rather positive sides than, wow, Adonai Mitchell is struggling in camp. I prefer the positive sides than the negative ones.
As we saw last year and we see every year in the preseason, you see guys, oh, my God, I can't – we have to hold on to this guy. We can't take the risk of him being put on waivers or something, because what if we lose him? And then we lose the guy, and he ends up being on a practice squad of 2 or 3 different teams during the season and never doing anything. So preseason and OTAs and everything else, really are meaningless. It's nice to see, and it's nice to hear that Mitchell is catching the ball because that's his big, problem, catching the ball. We know he can get open. We know he can go long or we can go short, but he's got to hold on to the ball when it gets, into his hands. And if that's some major improvement he's done in the offseason, kudos to him. I also think, for what it's worth, I think that Reich, because of his Indianapolis background where Mitchell came from, is giving him, maybe some additional options. We've already seen with the tight end that Reich was giving him attention that he never got last year. He was just, one of the guys on the practice squad who they let go on the field a couple of times just to check out the turf to make sure that the turf was okay.
Right. We also, I see, have a $5 super chat here from Mahar Khalil.
Wow.
Breaking news. Every time we get breaking news. Breaking news, Mac, with the $5 super chat. Brendan Sorsby has just placed a $2 bet on Easy not showing up to the tailgate.
It's going to be very interesting to see, supposedly, how many teams are going to refuse to play Texas Tech because of Sorsby.
Okay, we've got the call from the Jets. So, Mac, that is hilarious. I will put on a guest with you here, Bob.
9 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah, that's impressive. Hey, Brooke, can you just wait 1 second? Okay. All right. Beautiful.
So let's call up Philly or somebody, and we'll have a nice conversation while you're
okay. There you go. Here is Philly, that exact guy. So I will jump off for a second, guys. I will be back.
Okay, Philly, we're in charge now. What do you want to do?
Let's read this out here. Let's see if you can read it.
Let's read. Let me see if I can read this with or without my glasses. Random sports fact for Friday. You can't spell Gino without O-G. Oh, very good.
Hey.
Yes. I'm having a lot of trouble with Anunoby and Wembayama.
Yeah.
My wife said, "Who was that? Who just made that play?" Oh, that was. Oh, how do you pronounce his name again? From Anunoby's fingertips to Smith's football grip. What does it say there?
3,300 passing yards.
3,300 passing yards. Okay. Yeah. New York forever plus Jets. Next line. In Rose and Moogie we trust.
Yes, sir.
Who's Rose?
Oh, the GM for the Knicks.
Oh,
yes.
Leon.
Yeah, yes, sir, Mr. Leon Rose. Good morning. How you doing?
I think of him as Super Jew, even though he doesn't really talk about it very much.
How are we doing this morning?
We're doing fine. I have felt from the moment they made the trade for Anunoby that he was going to be the new DeBusschere. I just had a feeling, and in fact, I've been holding this for a couple of weeks, but I've heard people talk about what's your all-time Knicks starting team. And maybe DeBusschere shouldn't be on the team. Let's see. It's obviously got to be Brunson and Frazier in the backcourt, and it's got to be Ewing at center, and it's got to be
Carmelo.
Carmelo. Oh my God. No, not in this or any other.
Okay.
You know why? I'll tell you why. Because Carmelo didn't make the other players better, and that's my problem with Carmelo.
He was a star, not a.
He was the go-to guy for offense. He was instant offense.
Yeah.
Okay, but who was the other great scorer that they had for only 3 or 4 years that the Nets had originally drafted out of Tennessee?
Marbury?
No. The forward, King, Bernard King.
Oh, Bernard King, of course.
I put Bernard King on there, even
and then DeBusschere
4 years before I put on him. But I put him on with DeBusschere because DeBusschere could play like Anunoby.
Mm-hmm.
He could play the center. He could defend. He could defend against the small forward, the large forward, and on a couple of occasions, even put him on a guard.
Mm-hmm.
He just was that flexible. That play I watched that play now probably a dozen times.
Yeah.
And when you realize that Anunoby threw the inbounds pass, and then he darted to the basket, and he kind of went through the crowd, and nobody blocked him out.
It's like it was seas were parted.
Yeah,
Almost.
exactly.
Like,
It was just
a religious moment.
It was an amazing play. It can't happen again. It won't happen again because the San Antonio coach is going to say, okay, now on this play, we're going to block him out because he's their best rebounder.
And Carl, even if he missed that, it looked like Carl could have had a last second tip.
But he was off to the side.
And he was off to the side.
To the left of the basket.
Yeah. So
I don't know if he had the perfect position for a tap in from straight away from 2 feet in front of the basket.
Well, that's why everybody's stating only a team this young could default a 29-point lead this way. And it's like, hey, that's fine. If this is how the Knicks scripted their finals in 53 years, we'll all take it as Knicks fans if you're a Knicks fan.
We will, but you got to, and I heard that they were blaming some of the players yesterday in San Antonio for not eating the clock. That's the coach.
Fox.
That's Chris Johnson's job to tell
if
you get the ball, especially when there were like 14 seconds left and they got the ball and Fox went in for a layup. And Obi blocked him on that one too, didn't he?
Yeah, they some people are saying it could have been a foul, but the way the series has been playing, that's a block. I was almost at a point in the first quarter of feeling like the Knicks should go to the official and say this BS of calling fouls or not calling, especially on Wembanyama, who continued to cheap shot. Yeah.
I mean, did you see on one of the replays that I saw isolated yesterday? His guy got away. He was on defense. His guys got away from him to the left of the basket, and he walked over to Anunoby, whose back was turned. Okay, so we have from T-Town Jet, who's gifted one gift for
All Boy Green membership.
And when Paul comes back, he will announce who that gifted membership went to. So
let's go T-Town Jet. I think we can check. Hold on. Let me see who it went to. Does that allow me to see?
Yes, go right ahead. Wow.
You've got no, it doesn't show up on this. Oh, no, wait, hold on. No, it doesn't show up on this level.
The T-Town just cool your jets. And that was not me. Was that you, Philly?
No, that's Paul. He's watching us. He's
okay.
He's
Anyway, Wembanyama with Anunoby's, oh my God, putting this in one sentence, with his back turned, he thrust his whatever size foot in the back
leg
of Anunoby's
his right leg. Yep.
His calf.
He attempted to get his calf, and maybe the guy's been outrageous. Yes, he's been outrageous, and you know what? It's like, okay, it took Alvarado to decide, hey, we're not going to allow this to occur.
Well, he said it, but before the game, and he said, okay, he did it to Brunson, a couple of times now. It won't happen again, and he went right after Wembanyama. I almost felt, like I started to say, I almost felt that the Knicks should walk out to tell the officials this BS is going to stop, or we're walking off the court.
I mean, it's been
egregious. You're going to deal with these 18,000 people who are screaming and yelling, because this is not. I mean, the fact that the league has clearly put the word out that Wembanyama is not to receive another technical foul.
Flagrant. That's right, because he'd be administered a suspension.
Nothing. You need 4. That would be his third. And
he had his third. He had his third 2 nights ago. So right now he would have been at 4 if they would have called the one against Brunson when he threw him by his neck.
But Philly, how in the world could they call an offensive foul on Cat as he's driving to the basket with Wembanyama's arm thrust under thrust under his left arm already.
Bob,
impeding him from going to the basket.
Bob, I have a take, and this is my take on NBA. Over the past how many years with NBA, we're talking from back in the 90s, 80s, the influence of international basketball has been outstanding for them. And it's been killer. It's been making the money. It's been it makes them as popular as soccer, right? It's soccer worldwide, and then basketball is what it feels like. The NFL has been infringing on that little by little. This year, they have 8, right, international games. Yeah. To me, they're like, hey, we're the international focus. If you look at the past 10 NBA Finals victories, the last 7 have been predominantly international player focused and driven stars. Even SGA, he's Canadian. People got to understand that. That's still international. So to me, when you have an international product, if you're international big megastar who's 7'4", who takes up the entire frame, who is that pivotal piece for your company going forward, you can't have him labeled like that. And if you are, then you have to lean forward into him being a menace.
But who is, if this is the proper word, who is tutoring him to behave the way he's behaving?
I think it's just his style of playing, and Mitch is not going to change it because it's been working for them. You're not going to tell him not to be.
I agree. I agree. But the league could easily on the QT pass the word to the Spurs.
Correct.
Tell them to stop it.
Yeah,
we don't want to give him another flagrant and cost you his services. Yeah. Tell him to stop it. He doesn't need to punch, Brunson. He doesn't need to cheap shot he doesn't need to do those things.
No, I think it's been egregious. But if you haven't seen the replay yet, I wonder if there's a way I can send it to you via to BG. But so Karl Anthony Towns on that inbound, that last play there, he seen a video. He actually asked the fans that are closest by, who paid half a year's, a triple year salary of mine,
to move in savings,
to move in towards Harper, who was inbounding. So if you see it, they start.
What do you mean move in?
So they're standing and they're giving him space, and Karl Anthony walks up to him and he goes, "Hey," he's like, "Move closer to him."
Oh, you talking about the fans were not seated; they were up
like the rest. They were standing like everybody else. So they're like, "Move over, move in." They move in, and now at that point, he's got less room. He's got a 7-footer in front of him, so the tip became a little bit more accessible to him when he tipped the ball on that inbound pass. So I mean, it's moments like that where you don't got to step on somebody's calf or elbowing them. You can just say, "Fans, see, this is the difference between how it really feels like this series has been a dirty team versus a team of destiny." Knocking our win streak away.
What do you think happens tomorrow night?
Listen, as a Knicks fan, close it out. As a sports fan, right? But as like a moment of triumph, I would love for it to be 6th and at the Garden, right? But in the end, I'll take it either way. I'll take it anyway, 5, 6, or 7. But let me get 5. I'll settle with 6.
Yeah.
7, I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, I don't care where they celebrate, because if they win tomorrow night, New York is going to explode. I just hope that if and when they win it, that New York does not completely lose control of everything, and we see another Detroit-like scene.
Yeah, I mean, the egg to Wembanyama, I mean, may he deserve it? Yes, from an athlete, maybe throwing a water bottle at him, but it's throwing eggs at him.
I don't want to see. I want to see enthusiasm, euphoria, and that sort of thing, but nothing else. So let's completely change subjects. I want to talk to you about the Super Bowl jet players that I've been bringing on, and we've already scheduled another one for Friday, the 26th of June, and that's going to be Carl McAdams, who was one of their defensive linemen. Are you really interested in hearing from those guys, even from a guy like McAdams, who you may have never even heard of?
I think it's I think it's pivotal to just get an understanding of people's insights from that game, that we're playing in that game and we're in that locker room. Especially to me, I think more importantly is the guys who were there while the team was building, before they, that success came that year. Like, I think you hit on, there was a couple of guys they added maybe in the offseason that year. I think the guys that were there for a while, you probably resonate a good amount of the spirit and fandom for the Jets fans, because obviously we've been sitting around waiting forever for anything. So
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
you know, yeah.
Again, one of the reasons I wrote the book was, and I talked to Smolinski after we did the interview with him the other day, and I just, because I was reminded by my wife, and she was on the call too, and she said, Mark, Bob wrote the book, and when he was starting to write the book, he told me these guys were my heroes when I was growing up, and I wasn't talking just about Snell and Namath, but it was the whole team, because I realized football was a team game. So I remembered Mark Smolinski, and he was not a great player, but he was one of the pieces that made things work. There was a guy on a team named Ray Hayes. He was probably literally the 45th guy on the team, because they only had 45 players that year who played even one down. And he told me at the 50th anniversary celebration at the hotel that he didn't really feel like he belonged there. And he didn't feel part of the group. And there were probably 30 of the Jets players there. And I said, why? He said, because I didn't really make a big dent. I wasn't somebody that made a memorable play. And he said, and I'm here with my 3 sons. And I said, Ray, you got it all wrong. First of all, you were part of that Super Bowl team, whether you played one play or you played, the whole season. And I said, you were basically on special teams. So you were running up and down the field. And who is to say that somebody else who could have played instead of you would have screwed up or failed to make a tackle or failed to make a block, and it had resulted in a big play or even a touchdown?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you were on that team, part of that team, whether you are one of the rah-rah guys that everybody, wants you, in the huddle and hugging you, whatever, because I didn't see that, obviously. You were still part of that team, and you should be proud of that. And I said to him, and by the way, I need you to sign both of my books.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? One gunner can change an entire season, right?
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
one punt return can change an entire season. Like that don't matter. If you were a part of that squad, you're part of that squad, especially football, right? Because the practicing, you don't know if some of these guys are rallying, practicing in practice groups, and it's something that you can't really. I
don't know if BG is sending me a subliminal message, but here is
we have Johnny Boy in there. Hey,
Johnny Boy, can we wake you up? Are you?
BG snuck us in.
Hey.
Oh, hey guys,
Billy, I was wondering what had happened to you. I hadn't seen you for a few days.
Yeah, well, during the week I'm at work, and work focus kicks in overdrive in summer with my job, in a sense. So Fridays I'm always at home for work. So I'll
cool.
I'll let you guys take over. Bob, it's been a pleasure.
Bill and Johnny, I want to ask you the same question I just asked Philly, and that is bringing on, some of these ex-Jets, Super Bowl Jets, some of whom probably you have never heard of. Does that resonate with you anyway?
Yeah, after all, they were part of that team. Why shouldn't we have them as guests if we could? And why they can't pound their chests and say, I made a difference when it came to being on the team. So absolutely. I'm glad we're back on the Jets, because it's like, wait a minute, we were on the Knicks yesterday, and we started today with shoes and Crocs. And I said, what are we going to do for Hop on Pop tomorrow? Exchange recipes? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, you're speaking my language, Bill. Johnny, how about you?
Morning, Bob. Morning, Bill. Morning, BG in the background. So I would like to weigh in really quickly on the Crocs and the open shoes and all that. The only
you mind if I nod out while you go into that?
It's real fast. It's the only attire of footwear that you should be wearing right now with this incredible run that the New York Knicks are doing. Is rocking Timbs while you're inside and just constantly walking around with your Timbs. That's it.
There you go.
New York or nowhere. Anyway, Bob, I have to say this. I enjoy it a lot because to hear somebody else's point of view of what they saw, and not only during the season, but the preparation for the Super Bowl, their trials, tribulations of getting to that point during that time, hearing out that, back in those days, they still had to work, and it was more for the love of the sport and the passion that it came. I'm all about it. Like, nobody talks about what Earl Christie did, right? And Earl
By the
Christie,
way, I talked to Earl Christie, and he's ready to come on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Earl, I met Earl. He's an amazing individual. Amazing.
Mhm.
So, but what he did, Jim Richards, and that's why I brought those names up last time, because I truly enjoyed. Unfortunately, Jim Richards passed.
Yeah.
And but I got to meet him, and I remember him telling me stories about the Super Bowl and how, I mean, he was a Virginia Tech kid, and he's from out here.
And he was there, and he knew that was going to be his last game before he had to report for military service. They had given him an exemption to finish the season.
Exactly. So, like, these are these stories that somebody that loves history, appreciates when you bring that, and I'm tuned in for it, because I think it's something that for our, seasoned fan base, I'm gonna say, it's a great nod to it. I mean, Mikey Holkans always talks about knowing the history of your New York Jets, and I think it's something to be important. Bob, like, my daughter is literally, she's reading your book. She's up, like, she reads your book, and
how old is she?
She's 12. She's about to be 12.
Oh, nice. Tear out the Namath chapter. You don't want to go in there.
It'll be all right, man. But again, it's just that, like, she saw the pictures of the field at Shea, and then when they changed it to, and she was like, "Where is this at?" I'm like, "It's the same field." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, they used to play there." And again, Bob, I think it's an amazing thing that what you guys are doing. Continue to keep doing that. I really appreciate it. Those are the guys.
Because I talked to Earl the other day. Earl called me the other day. I called him, and he called me back and left a message. He said, "This is Earl the Twirl," and I'm ready to come on. So we'll have him on, and Randy Rasmussen.
Randy, yeah.
And Randy is a fascinating story because that was his rookie season. And he, he said, "Hey, after we won the Super Bowl, my rookie season, I thought, well, we're going to go and do this a couple more times." And he played like 15, 16, 17 more years, and never got a sniff close to it.
Right.
So,
right.
And so I'm still working on more. There's 21 of the members of that team that are still around.
One of the best pulling guards we ever had.
Yeah. Very unheralded. Made a couple of all AFC teams.
Yeah.
A really good player, a solid member of the organization.
Number 66. I'll always remember him.
Yeah. Yep. Every time I see some of these guys wearing these numbers now, I go, "Wait a minute, how are they going to give those numbers away? They should have retired."
It just kills me that we let John Riggins go. What a running back he was.
Yeah. Well, Mohawks and money, that didn't sit well with Weeb.
The body of a fullback with the speed of a halfback. And the only other running back since who reminds me of Riggins but had an even more aggressive running style was Earl Campbell.
Yeah.
He would just run over people. It's like, "Oh, you're in my way. All right, here," and smack the crap out of them.
And he had the speed,
right?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Bob, like,
go ahead, Johnny.
I just appreciate, like, you bringing these guys. Like, you just had 21 guys that are left, and it's awesome to bring them now before they're gone, so they can really tell their story. They have it here in YouTube, and it'll be in YouTube forever. It's awesome, man, because it sucks. Like, I wish that the whole Snell situation and all of those things would have gotten to some point. It's how I feel right now about the whole Oakley situation. It's awesome seeing all the Knick players that are there, but you're like, Oak is missing. He needs to be there, And seems like they're not going to get to a.
Yeah, and you're right. It's very comparable because it's pride here. He's been told, okay, you're not persona non grata anymore. You're welcome to come. I don't know if they've offered him tickets to come, but clearly he's made the decision that he's not ready to go back.
Right. I feel so good for Walt Frazier to be there, given that he's one of the last remnants of the 70 and 73 teams, so I'm very happy that he's been there.
What made such an impact on me on the aftermath of that game, the minute that game was over, were the shots that they had of Clyde and of several of the other players, of Ewing and Starks and whatever, and the look of astonishment on their faces of what they had just seen.
Right. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing ride. We hope that it does culminate with them winning it all. And as I was saying, I hope they clinch it before Sunday, because the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And Alvarado would definitely be invited as Grand Marshal, if I'm not mistaken. So
Really?
he'll participate in 2 parades.
Should.
When is it, on Sunday?
Yes, it is.
I don't think he's going to get back in time from San
Yeah, I know, but it's nice to think about anyway. I'm sure that an invitation would be put out to him.
They'll do it. I mean, from San Antonio to there, it's a couple of hours. Maybe like he gets on a.
It's a long. I have flown from Dallas back to New York in the past, and it's a long ride. Texas is a big state, and San Antonio is way south.
Yeah.
I would think it's like a 4-hour flight, and you'd have to leave almost immediately after the game. And hey, if they win, he's not immediately going anywhere except to the locker room to celebrate.
Right.
I mean, it would be Puerto Rican Day Parade after it's gonna be nuts, man. It'll be crazy if that occurs.
It's gonna be nuts. Hell yeah.
Hey, Bobby, Bill, I want to ask you guys something really good. With Westhoff being there, do you think that because I think what BG was talking about earlier is that on his credentials it had coaches, guest, or whatever, so it has to be Banjo, right? Do you think that him and Banjo are implementing some new type of style plays to put in for special teams, or
I would think probably what happened is he sat down with Banjo because it's his disciple. And he probably said, so, what he probably asking him, what kind of changes are you making, going into this season, and picking his brain and maybe offering, based on what he hears, based some suggestions, thoughts, or just affirmations of what Banjo is getting prepared to do. Because, again, Banjo is going to have a different set of guys playing on special teams, because any rookie that makes a team that doesn't start is going to be on that special team. And they already traded one of the key players of the special team. So, I think that's basically Westhoff. Probably it's how he spent his time, there.
So you think
would you have any reason not to think that?
No, not at all. But I mean, like, I think the reason I ask, because I really think that the G. Scott pickup is more of a Banjo pickup, and I don't think a lot of people are really talking about that, because it seems like Banjo likes these real big, super fast guys, and they're teach them how to hit really hard. I mean, G. Scott's a huge guy. I think he's like 6'3" or 6'4", something like 250 pounds. And still can run a 4.6. I mean, that's pretty quick. So maybe that, I don't know, but I wanted to get your guys' thoughts in regards to that. BG, look at BG. Hey, BG, are you wearing your Timbs too, like me?
Am I what?
Are you wearing your Timbs on your feet too?
I'm wearing socks. No, I'm wearing socks. I'm wearing socks.
It's no Bing Bong, baby. Let's go.
I've given you guys enough love. Why don't you win the damn finals before you guys celebrate, huh? It's been 53 years.
There you go. Bob has his Timbs on too right now.
You
does
have your
Bill.
Tim's on, Bob? Lift those feet. All right, this is about to get to a different program.
There
here.
you go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Straight
Is there
Timberland.
like a fur inside of those slippers?
Yes.
Yes.
All day, every
They're
day.
what? Fleece. My wife says it's fleece.
Ah, there you go.
Oh,
Fleece.
fleece.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Johnny boy, do you
But
have
I told
do
you I
you
can't
sell
wear
the
shoes.
shoelace? What happened there?
I told you I
What?
can't wear
I'm
shoes
in-
in the house because my
right.
wife says I scuff up the floors.
Yes.
just
Oh,
let 'em
there
go.
they are. Okay. You wear them a little loose biscuit, though, I notice. Very nice.
Oh yeah, man, because just walking around the house. I
You
don't
know,
think Bob
Johnny,
ever
I think
would never
I think
let me in
what-
the house because I'd be wearing Tim's, and I don't want to.
There you go.
Johnny, I think one of the things we haven't heard enough of, but we're going to probably, is exactly who's going to be the long snapper.
Thomas
You know,
Hennessy. It better not be Garrison Grimes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but they again, the scouting report on Garrison Grimes is that this guy's a once in a lifetime guy at that job. So I don't know.
So you tell me this, Bob, is this what's going to happen? Just what happened last year, right? We had Thomas Morstead. Jet fans universally love Thomas Morstead. He was on my show 5 or 6 times. He is the Jets player that's been on my show the most times. Tyler Conklin's been on multiple times. I've had a few people on multiple times. No one's been on as much as Thomas Morstead, and I salute him and his family for always being willing to jump on the show, and that's been awesome. So yeah, and his kids have jumped on the show. It's been really cool. But last year, Jet fans like, oh, it's Thomas Morstead. Who's Austin McNamara? Who's this random kid? It's Thomas Morstead. Then we got to axe grinding time, and Thomas Morstead got cut. We were all devastated, like, no, not Thomas Morstead.
Yeah.
And then they brought in Austin McNamara, and he was like the greatest punter of all time. So like, he was spectacular. Like, oh, they knew. So is this another one of those situations? Thomas Hennessy is the longest tenured player in the Jets, and we all love him by default. And a lot of people don't know his name. That's a good thing, because if we knew his name, he must be blowing snaps. So that's good. Are we about to get
Garrison Grimes? I think Garrison Grimes is going to get at least 50 of the situations during preseason. And what you're going to read in the press is that, well, we know what Hennessy can do, and we just want to see what Garrison Grimes can do, which will be their way of saying, if this guy can do what we need to have done, we'll save the money, and they can always trade Hennessy too and probably get something. It may not be a lot, maybe a 6th or a 7th.
Trade a long snapper. All right, Bob. I like the cut of your jib.
So I think that might be the most interesting, battle for position. If Garrison Grimes is as they are describing him, I mean, we have no way of knowing. And even in watching I'll tell you what, right now, you're not going to hear whoever is telecasting the game saying, oh, Garrison Grimes is going to be the long snapper on this play.
Unless it's bad, right? If you're like, Garrison Grimes, whoa, look at that long snap. He fumbled it through the back of the end zone. Outside of that, you're right. We're not going to hear the names.
But even then, it's more than the long snap. It's, okay, what does he do as he gets downfield? What are they expecting him to do, and is he getting it done?
Right. Hey, by the way, real quick, guys, obviously I had just been sort of absent. That went a lot longer than I thought, but I just been absent for a period of time. So I was watching the show while on the phone, but I couldn't hear what was going on. So I saw a membership come in, and I threw it on the screen, played the chimes.
Yes, that too.
What was a member? Did Philly Noodles? Did he read?
He gifted, or we could not identify who the gift was.
Well, I can. Don't worry. That's why I'm still here, baby. It's still Boyd Green Daily. Jay Lepsetter got that membership gifted by T-Town.
There you go.
Thank you, T-Town Jet. So see, Paul's paying attention somewhat, so appreciate that. And so I have news on the tailgate, okay? I have news. Thank you to the wonderful New York Jets. Long conversation, a lot of negotiating back and forth, a lot of conversation happening behind the scenes.
This year, you don't have to do it in a hole in the parking lot.
Hopefully not. I did hear Max say, please move to a different section. Luby is a tailgate expert. And so is Chef Kevin Gilbert with his cooking. So we will let you, that's one piece of information I don't know. Where exactly is our tailgate going to be? But don't worry about it, people. We will make sure that is clear as day and that it's not in a hole. So those two things we will.
Is that your option, or will the Jets?
It's our option. We could tailgate on Planet Mars. It has where we tailgate, or where you sit. Obviously, is whatever you work out with the Jets. But in terms of the tailgate, you could tailgate anywhere. So that is totally up for grabs. So I will confer. It looks like it may not be D7. We were in initially D3 last year, but that was in a crater. So we adjusted to D7, and we may not be in D7. So folks, I will make sure that you guys know that information well ahead of time. You won't be wondering, day of, Where was that Boy Green tailgate we're supposed to go to? That will not be out there. But here's the thing. So we just purchased out an entire section. So great news. We will be, for everyone that's already bought a ticket so far, that bought one in, we will be in section 118. That is corner end zone right by the Jets tunnel, as I'm looking at it here. So it's right next to the Jets tunnel. Where the players will be running out. So that should be a super cool experience. So I just purchased 55 game tickets. And because we couldn't leave one alone, so I bought an extra ticket. So there is the reason I say all that is there's only one ticket left for someone to sit with us in that section left. Outside of that, we're going to have to combine it with other sections. So thank you, everyone out there. The fact that we could buy out the rest of an entire section is wonderful, beautiful news. So we're all going to be sitting in 118. And any new people that join our group, I'll put a poster together later today that you guys can see. Anyone new that joins the group after this point, besides this one person, if there's a solo person out there that wants to buy a ticket and you want to sit with us, there's one left, and then you guys can. Everyone else after that will have to be in accompanying sections that I'll work out with the Jets. So terrific news. So section 118, baby, circled on the calendars. That is where we will be for Jets Browns.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
We are still one Sunday away from it, but I just thought I say right now to you gentlemen and everyone on the chat to have a very happy Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's great to be a dad. Great to have our children and their children, if that's be the case. And I wish you all well. I wish everyone a great weekend this weekend. Let's hope the Knicks will get that beautiful ticker tape parade followed by the Puerto Rican Day parade. So let's go. Let's go. Right?
It's been so long in New York that one of my sons asked me, what do they do in New York if the Knicks win? I said, they have a ticker tape parade. Oh, really?
Yeah, Canyon of Heroes. Come on.
What do they do?
Absolutely.
Exactly. He said, what's the Canyon of Heroes?
Oh.
That's how long it's been.
Well, hopefully, Bob, that's been one.
I hope you told them you have to read my book, son.
Well, that too, but also that he said
no, they didn't have one for the Jets.
Oh, well, I wish you would have told Bobby Jr. in that moment. I have never been more disappointed in you as a son for not knowing the Canyon of Heroes.
It was my eldest son. It wasn't Bobby Jr.
Well, Bobby the third. Well, that's disgraceful. Okay, that's disgraceful. That's a disgrace. Read a book, buddy.
The New York Liberty just had a parade. They won the chip. I think
Brianna Stewart. Yeah, great. Shout out to Brianna Stewart. That's,
what they did with the Jets? They didn't have a Canyon of Heroes ceremony. They had a ceremony at Gracie Mansion where John Lindsay faded the Jets for winning the Super Bowl.
All right. By the way, Lou B loves 118. He says that is a great section we got. So thank you, Lou B. Great. And I want to throw this out there to the universe because, I just want to make this clear. I want to try to give you guys in the universe the best experience I possibly can. We sat in the 3 years ago. We sat in the 300s. We moved up to the 200s last year, and this year we're in the hundreds. Now, maybe we're going to go here and go, Paul, I prefer the 200s, or I prefer this side of the field, this side of the field. That's why I'm exploring. Also, it's on the shaded side. So, wink, for all you out there in the audience, I care about the heat. It's on the shaded side. But I'm trying to, take risks. Maybe 118 we're all going to hate. We're like, I hate this view of the field. Then I'll try to do better next year. So I just want to do the best I possibly can for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I thought it looked really cool. So hopefully I'm right. Because if I'm right, I'll get a lot of high fives. If I'm not, I will get a lot of things thrown at me. So it's one or the other.
Johnny's raising his hand there.
That's very appropriate. I appreciate that.
118, and they're right there by the tunnel. You guys in there early, and you can start seeing a lot of the players that are practicing.
Ooh, cool.
You could potentially get some autographs too.
Oh, nice. I've never done that before. That's cool. Okay.
So that's another thing because you'll always see a lot of the fans that'll put stuff up, and you see the guys especially during when they're warming up, signing things and everything like that. So that's bro, it's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be a great time. All of us together, everybody having fun. I cannot wait. And Bill, you forgot about my birthday on Sunday, bro, on the 14th, Flag Day. So I'm hoping that I'm celebrating not the Knicks winning. I'm also hoping that, on Sunday, the World Cup plays. So the team that I'm rooting for is going to play that night as well. World Cup started yesterday. I don't know if you guys are watching the World Cup, but it was already 2 good games. Mexico made history on winning for the first time ever in the beginning stages of a World Cup of itself. So they won 2-1 yesterday. And then you had South Korea go against Czechoslovakia or whatever, and they won
Czechoslovakia, yes.
2-1 last night as well. And then today, the U.S. play against Paraguay later on tonight. So it is a great time to be a sports fanatic because we're going from the NBA championship now to the World Cup, which is going to lead us right into pretty much like the preseason for the Jets season.
Hey, a couple of things here real quick, John, because that's what John asked what I was going to ask too. So to do that signing thing, you'd have to leave the tailgate early, correct?
I mean, not early, but I'm just saying, like, if the game
what time would you say? So it's a 1 o'clock game. What time would you have to be there for your autograph thing you're talking about?
When they start warming up, I think people get there like an hour before the game really starts.
So noonish, that could happen. Oh, okay. Well, the tailgate will be from 10 to 12, so you guys will be able to figure that out as much as you want if that's what you want to do. But no, that was my curiosity because I've never done it before.
Hey, Johnny, my birthday is February of next year, so maybe we'll be celebrating the Jets being in the Super Bowl on top of my birthday. So, hey, baby.
Yeah, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Bill.
Let's go. Let's go.
Bob, when's your birthday? We got to know now, too.
April 19th.
Let's go.
Wow, that's a week before Boy Greens. We're April babies. We're a pack of the Taurus.
My brother is April 17th.
Okay, look, we've got a lot of great blood around here. I hate that this is a fact, but Aaron Judge apparently has my same birthday. It's
around the time of the 3 picks in the first round of the NFL draft next year.
There you go.
Seismic. It'll be seismic. Bill, Johnny Boy, and Philly Noodles, who's no longer here. Thanks for doing all this co-hosting here with Bob. I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you. Hey, Johnny, when is game 6 if the Knicks don't clinch tomorrow night? Is it Tuesday?
I think it'll be Tuesday because it goes back to the Garden itself. So I'm heading to Florida. I'm going to see I'm hoping that they win it tomorrow because I'll be with my aunt in Florida. And I think I said it on BG, and I'll let you know, Bob. So my aunt's not doing so well, but she's the reason why the part of my mother's side of the family came to this country from Ecuador. And the way she learned English was watching and hearing on the radio the New York Knicks announcement team, right, the commentators, and the New York Mets, as well as the Rangers. So that's
around what time period was that?
This was the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And she's there, and I hope I get to have that moment with her because she's not doing so well. But I talked to her the night of the game that, OG did what he did. And the other hero that needs to be talked about is Cat on that inbound play.
100%. That would have been a wide open dunk.
So it is. There's just so many heroes that need to be championed in this story that is the New York Knicks. So New York, go New York, go New York, go New York. Later, guys. That'd be good.
I wish your aunt all the best, because my late wife was also from Ecuador.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, Ecuadorian love here on Boy Green Daily, baby.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I just lost my picture here. My bad.
Bill, have a great weekend.
You too.
All right, there he is. Bill Aimley joining us here on the program. I want to address something. I saw a super chat here, so I want to make sure this is clear. Again, I just got a ton of new information for the Jets. I'll be sharing it here shortly beyond what I've already said. NC Green with a $2 super chat. He has this sent into the program. Wow. Is Section 118, which is our new section for our tailgate, is it in the sun? No. As a matter of fact, it is in the shade, which I joke with my Jets ticket rep, Brooke. I said, wow, I got a lot of praise last year for keeping it in the shade. What forethought? I went, that was complete luck, complete random circumstance.
In early October, you may want to have a little bit of sun.
It may be, yeah, because we'll see. Last year was a little warm, and it was October 5th, I believe, last year. And so now we're a little bit later. It'll be October 11th. But no, so Section 118 that we're in is not in the sun. It is in the shaded side of the field. So great, hopefully great news for everybody out there. So thank you, NC Green, for that. So excellent. And it's your buddy, DNY for Life, gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Here we go.
Thank you, Devin.
Devin just sent this internationally. He's on a cruise right now. By the way, that membership went to Man with Jet Tattoo. C is now once again a coffee club member, so that's great. And yes, Devin and his family are on a cruise right now, so he's gifting international waters, which appreciate. Enjoy that cruise. I've been on. I always hated like the idea of a cruise, and then I went on a cruise. I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing of all time. Probably not great for the current diet thing I'm on and working out.
By the way, I did want to tell you on that. I know
Yes,
that
sir.
they've told you the opposite. Check your weight every day.
Yeah, I should. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. And I've said this before. If you see you're making progress, it's a great motivator. Even 0.2 of a pound. And God, if you lose a half a pound, you're going, wow, that's great. Let me do this again, whatever I did yesterday. And if you put on weight, that should be a signal to you, hey, I'm not being careful enough. Because if you do it once a week, it's hard to really identify where you've gone overboard.
I guess that's true.
And there will be some days where you want that extra piece of cake or that extra piece of pizza that you know you shouldn't have.
Right. Which again, I've had those threats, but I've turned them down, thankfully. So I've been very strong. Like for instance, an example, late last night, I did the baseball game that went late. I had Jets work to do. I did that work. I'm like, I have to get my workout in. So at the radio station, I jogged for 30, 40 minutes at the radio station, and I'm dead tired. I get in the car and I'm driving home. I'm starving. And I passed on the way home. Fast food.
Yeah.
It would have been the easiest thing in the world. I'm starving and going, please, soda, fries, all that stuff was there. I'm like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it.
But you can drink water before you go to sleep.
Yes, right.
That can take care of some of that. But no, worst thing you can do is to eat something substantial late at night.
Right, which is all we could possibly hope for. Oh, wow, this is cool. Let me give this shout out here from our buddy C. Again, this is an option for people out in the audience every once in a while if you want to do it this way. Thank you, C. He just sent in a $5. Well, I guess that would be not chimes. That would be super chat, rather. Excuse me. Here we go. Thank you, C. Wow. The option is always available, of course, to utilize Zelle or PayPal or Venmo if you want to tip the show, and feel free to do so. So thank you, C, a.k.a. Carl. Thank you for sending that in. We will add that to your raffle ticket total this month. Thank you. I just received your $5 Zelle drop in. So thank you, C, for that. That's awesome. Thank you, sir. And yeah, it skips through all the YouTube stuff. YouTube takes a cut out of it. If you guys, I know it's easier for people. So DNY for Life Super Chats. I don't care. I'll take it however it comes. But if you guys do go the other mile of Zelling or PayPaling or Venmo, feel free to let me know. And then also, yes, as C did, he commented, did you get that Zelle? And I double checked it. So appreciate it because I'm not always looking at my phone during the show. So C, thank you kindly. That is very nice of you. Thank you. All right. Was there anything left unsaid here, Bob, before we put a bow on this?
I don't think so. I think we covered enough about shoes, sandals, torn jeans.
That's true. There was a lot of weird ground covered.
I'm ready for some Jets related.
As am I. And we should get that next week from Mandatory Minicamp. Normally, we'll see if the Jets do this year, that they allowed full access for the 3 days. So you get all kinds of, you get players each day, multiple players.
So
you get Aaron Glenn.
The press will be allowed in all 3 days.
So that's normally what happens. So unless AG has shifted something with the process here, then that should still be the case. So I certainly hope that is what happens, because that's obviously good content for us. And then we're about to go on a huge, deficit of nothingness for 6 weeks. So I will take all the extra curricular activities that I possibly can. So that is terrific.
Well, a week from next Friday, we'll have Carl McAdams as a guest.
Yes. Oh, did you plug that? yet?
Well, no. Well, I mentioned it, but you had a little thing that I noticed that you did plug.
Yeah.
During the week about.
Yes.
You had the photo and everything all ready to go.
Yeah, so let me get that here to promote. Also, I see that C sent in another one.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sending in another $5 Zelle. So thank you very much. I do believe that is a 2-piece combo. So thank you, C. I will add that also to your total. Thank you for all the raffle tickets so far. You're up to 3 raffle tickets, C. Thank you so much for sending those in. Yes, I have. That is true. I do have a version of Carl McAdams to promote here on the show. I will tell you, Bob, it is very difficult to sometimes get pictures of folks from yesteryear because of what is available out there on the internet. But here is Carl McAdams. Let's throw this up on the screen. So I have to do all kinds of cleaning up to try to get some of these old photos to translate to our current time. But here it is. That is Carl McAdams. Great shot. That is actually the Super Bowl III trophy for the Jets. I was able to get a shot of it back out, as you know, Bob, for all these anniversaries. So you get great, clean, updated camera shots of the trophy. So this is the actual Super Bowl III trophy for the Jets. And also, Bob, we can share this. I think I tweeted it out as we were promoting it yesterday. I will do that here on the show real quick. Is our lineup. I don't think we've revealed the full lineup of people that are set to come here, Bob.
I did mention them while you were gone.
Okay. All right. Well,
because Johnny Boy mentioned Earl Christie in particular.
Yes.
And Earl Christie did talk to me, and he said, "Oh, I'd love to come on." In fact, I'll tell you about Earl Christie. It'll be difficult to get him to be quiet. He's a talker.
I've got no problem with that.
He's got a lot to say and a lot to tell us. So that'd be great. And Randy Rasmussen, who was a rookie that year.
There you go. There's the full list.
Who had a very, very, very distinguished, Jets career reaching into the 1980s. It has also said, yes, I'll be on. And I've reached out to a couple of others, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, so here they all are. Again, Bob mentioned them earlier, but Earl Christie, Carl McAdams, Randy Rasmussen, and then Mark Smolinski is another interview that's already up on the channel. Again, we have the full live Boy Green Daily or the edited video version, which is just exclusively the interview. Both of those are up, and it's important to honor history. If you are a fan of yesteryear, like Dave Brigger, who said, "Oh man, I remember Mark Smolinski," that's cool. If you're a more current fan and you didn't get a chance to see it, I think this is a good history lesson. History 101. Here's your summer school, kids. We're going to be doing a deep dive on the history of the New York Jets with some of these Super Bowl III champions that paved the way for us all to enjoy the Jets as we do in this current
And I asked while you were gone, I asked Philly, I asked Bill, and I asked Johnny Boy whether they're really interested in hearing from guys who they probably have never heard of. And they all said absolutely, because they went through the process of everything that it took to become a Super Bowl, winner.
100%. So I'm glad that people champion that. I know Badshaw's a massive fan of, that sort of love for our Jets yesteryear. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything else on the phone there. So, yeah, this is going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. So, folks, stay tuned with us all summer. We'll drop the schedule, including Carl McAdams coming up and several more. So you guys will be able to see that coming up on the channel. It'll be some nice content during this gap of time that's going to be coming up here. Next week is mandatory minicamp, and I believe the week after that will be Carl McAdams. So terrific, Bob. I can't wait for it. It's going to be special.
Thank you. And thank you for letting me at the controls. Well,
wow.
maybe just in word only, but not totally. But thank you for the job that you did in being away and yet hitting those buttons and making the magic happen.
Yeah, I was trying to do the best I could while away, but an important Jets phone call that has all kinds of details, and more of it I will share. So stay tuned to all my social media. Everybody.
The best thing was you didn't have to hear all the Knicks talk while you were away.
That's too bad. I know. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that. I'm sure that's the number one thing I'm going to do as soon as the show is over. Of course, that can't be the case because guess what, folks? Have you heard enough of Boy Green today? You might say yes, but too bad. I'm about to join the Jake Asman show, so I'm going to join Jake for a few minutes here. Immediately after he made that request after a super chat, he said, "Hey, Paul, you jump on the show after your show." I said, "Okay." So we'll see if he's still
seriously, on. Don't forget to mention, the fact that you're going to be having some of these ex-Jets on. That'd be nice to promote it that way.
Yes, I definitely will. And that'll be a great time. So thank you for bringing that up, Bob. And when Jake gives me a plug opportunity, I'll be screaming that from the rooftops. All right, Bob, everybody, thank you so much for all the super chats. Again, I just got off the phone in the middle of the show with the New York Jets. I have all kinds of great details of where we're going to be sitting, where new people will be sitting that joins us, and all those details. So I will put that all together for a graphic. You'll see that on my social media. Stay tuned at BoyGreen25, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube, and of course on Discord as well. Austrian Jet fan sent in a membership. NC Green, Jake Asman, Mac, T-Town Jet gifted a membership. NC Green Super Chat, and DIY for life while on a cruise. God bless America. It's a beautiful place. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. Take care.